Want him to go and win the damn natty. I want Tom to be happy.
He's kind of stayed out. I haven't really heard
No,
anything.
he has. He's done exactly what I've wanted. Yeah. Do it behind the scenes. Don't do it publicly. Right. You know what we don't need? Stories about you interviewing to be the coach.
No. Hashtag go Hondo. But that's just it. Do you want to be a football school? Do you want to be a program that's relevant? Or do you just want to be cute? You hire somebody because if I have to hear one more time, well, based off of all the other scandals in Larry Nassar, you can't hire anybody with any type of baggage. Well, then just shut the program down because every coach has baggage. Every coach, including that coach too, has some skeleton in their closet. You just don't know about it yet. So
that's what I'd like. I want people to just be honest. Look, I wish we could talk about the game. You can feel free to call up. I mean, what would you like me to tell you? You're going to crush us. Hell, I've bet Michigan. Nothing I can do, guys. That's not on me. That's not a reflection of me. All right? That's a Harlan Barnett problem. Like, I don't know what warped world you live in. My team doesn't define my existence. I'm 42, man. At 25, different ball game.
You're a man. You're 42.
Hell, I feel like I have to say that to people sometimes. I know. Total has been, soon to be 43. Yeah. The point is, tell us. If you think what I want from my program is unrealistic, pie in the sky, crack infused, go for it. Because I'd just love to know. I'd love to know how low you can sink one of the wealthiest programs, revenue-generating programs, huge stadium. Yeah, no, it's not 110,000. 76, 78,000, whatever the hell it is. That's a massive stadium. All right, Oregon, who everyone considers a legit program, 58. Like, just be...
I don't even think it's that.
No, it's 58.
Oh, is it? Okay.
Be straight with me. Just say what you mean. No dancing. Don't do a wojo. Just come out, write it, say it. This is what you should be happy with, bitch. Period. Just say it. Won't be offended. David, you've been silent as a ghost. Why don't you tell me? Why don't we start with you? You're the lead Wolverine on this show.
Yeah, I'm going to give you some numbers here because this is the program I think you should be competing with in the Big Ten East. They had 8 wins. They had 7 wins coming off a scandal. It got reset 7-7, 11, 11, 9, 11. COVID, 7, 11. That's Penn State. That's the kind of program I think that you all should be. Within a 3 to 4 year window, you should have those 11-win seasons, 12-win seasons, things like that, competing to be in a possible playoff or a New Year's Six Bowl, or I don't know how that's changing next year with the 12, but you get what I'm saying. You should be in that range where you're either the third or second best team in the conference, depending on what happens with the rest of the teams. Mm-hmm. That's the type of program I think you should be, around 9 to 11 within that range within 3 to 4 years.
Yeah, I think as much of, people always want to focus on the ceiling, you got to focus on the floor. Mm-hmm. Rico and I have always said it. It's unacceptable at a school like Michigan to win less than 10 games. Why? Because you're going to take the field with more talent than your opponent in 11 of your 12 games. Mm-hmm. At Michigan State, it's unacceptable not to win 9 games a year. Yeah. Think about what it takes to win 9 games a year. And I know everyone's going to do this conference expansion thing, but just work with me. 9 games a year, you get 3 freebies. You're going to play 3 garbage teams. You're going to get Indiana. You're going to get Rutgers. You're at 5 before you roll out of bed. If you can't go 4-3 in the other 7 games, you know damn good. Unacceptable. Period. So I just would love to know. And again, as far as hiring a coach, tell me what's realistic. We all know what's going down Saturday. As I've coined it, you're buying tickets to watch your grandmother get beaten to death with a bat. That's what Saturday is. And I don't know why you would go. You do whatever you like. You're a Michigan fan? Whatever I told you in summer doesn't apply because my fan base is opted out. My team is opted out. Go up there. Do whatever the hell you want. I don't think any State fan's going to care. So just let's go. 248-539-9797. Rico, how you doing over there?
I'm good, man.
By the way, shout out Rico Beard. Look at this man wearing his little State hat. GD adorable.
Bruh.
Pick a different hat tomorrow, please.
You know what, Mike? How about you just come and pick my wardrobe for me?
No, I love the power flannel. That's a great look for you. But the hat, I just don't know how you're doing it.
Because I went to school there?
And
I really don't care what people think.
I like it. I mean, good for you. 248-539-9797.
And that's why you're Uncle Rico to my son, because he also is wearing his state hat and doesn't care what people think.
Like, my whole life, they're losing. I got to hide my stuff. And I went there. They took enough of my money. I'm good.
You are, wait a minute, you got into Harvard, but you didn't get a full ride to state?
Not the first time around.
Man, you got ripped off. Also, David, you are aware he called your son a loser in private.
No,
5 minutes ago.
Not the middle son. Not the other one is who he's calling a loser.
So you're not offended that he called one of your dear children a loser. It's that he called the wrong one a loser.
He can fight for himself.
The middle child walks on water.
David's household. This is like a Bravo reality series.
The middle child is baby Jesus. He walks on water.
Oh, my. All right. You've been injured in an accident, whether it's auto, truck, motorcycle, slip and fall. David Feminino, the guy you need to call. We've told you. You get injured in Michigan, you get David, you get paid. David will make sure you get every dime you deserve, and he doesn't take a fee until you get paid. It's simple. You know someone who's injured, you tell them to get David Feminino, 855-65-CRASH. Or you can go to the website, getdavidgetpaid.com.
Seasons are very long and things change throughout the course of the season. If the Lions go to Baltimore and win, it's hard to envision where and if it could go south. Like you're setting yourself up.
Stop. We know there's one.
There's one thing. Yeah, there's one thing. But they are really setting themselves up to have a chance at that number one seed that he talked about. A win over Baltimore will go a long way toward helping about that. But even if they lose to Baltimore, the Lions' schedule compared to San Francisco and Philadelphia's is on paper significantly easier. They still have the 5 division games. They still have Denver on the schedule. I mean, they still have some teams that don't look very good, that really could. Nothing's a punch button win, right? But those are 6 games the Lions have the luxury of playing that Philly and San Francisco don't have.
This is true. And the Bears, and we'll see what happens with Justin Fields if he's hurt for the long term or if he was just out for the rest of that game yesterday. But if he's out long term, that torpedoes what they're trying to build. Takes a big old detour.
Baseball playoffs going on along with college football and pro football as well. I need the fastest internet around to keep up with all the action, and Xfinity connects me to more of the great games that I love. With Xfinity internet, I get the speed I need at a great price, so no more frozen screens, pixelated videos, just pure uninterrupted streaming bliss. Xfinity Internet is built to handle all your digital demands with speeds that'll make your head spin. Enjoy all your favorite apps all in one place with a Flex 4K streaming box, all with Xfinity Internet. Allows you to stream all your favorite shows and all your favorite games without interruptions. It means you get the latest scores as they happen, latest injury updates, even your fantasy stats. Choose from a variety of speeds depending on your needs, including gig speeds up to 1.2 gigabits per second, and enjoy reliable internet on all your devices. To get started, call 1-800-XFINITY, visit Xfinity.com, or stop into a local Xfinity store today for more details. Maximum download speed of 940 megabits when hardwired via Ethernet. Actual speeds vary and not guaranteed based on Xfinity's fastest available download speeds.
I don't know why, but Stoney just fits the track perfectly. Let's get to the people, see where everybody's at. Tell us, what should the standard be at Michigan State? Obviously, Urban says he don't want to coach no more. You guys mocked the whole idea of it from the beginning because we're supposed to take less. Insulting articles from people like Wojo. Oh, what about Chris Creighton? What about pork and beans? The point is,
Jason Candle.
right, tell us. Because it's clear, I don't think Spartan fans agree with what Rico and I think of our program, and I know Wolverine fans don't. So what is the standard? How many wins a year should MSU fans expect as a minimum? What type of coach should we aspire to hire? Tell me. And again, if you want to talk about this weekend, go ahead. I would be elated to hear something that would interest me. Because my guess, you're going to have about a third of the fan base who won't watch it. There's nothing to do. There's no Spartan with a brain going to a viewing party. You may as well go to a funeral. You'll have the same fun.
Now, I think you'll get people watching it, but with plan B or C to see what happens. Let's see if it's going to be competitive because maybe you get a competitive first quarter. Michigan's had historically slow starts this year.
21-0 first 7 minutes. Let's go to Cameron, 97-1. Hi, Cam.
Hey, Mike. How are you? I haven't talked to you in a few years.
What's going on? I mean, we've had a couple callers this week, Cam. I had a guy yesterday. He hadn't called in 15 years, so don't feel bad about it.
Last time I talked to you, I was talking to you and Terry, but I moved to New York, and now I can hear it on YouTube. So great to be back.
Well, welcome back to the party.
Well,
What's
boom,
up?
bye,
Thank you. Thank you. Long time diehard Michigan fan, but, you know, I got to say, I don't think as many Wolverines hate your guts as much as you think. I certainly feel like 9 wins is on target, if not low. I mean,
Okay.
I'd love to see you guys go get the best guy on the market. I love watching this game when it's a top 10 matchup. I certainly don't want to lose,
No.
but I mean, I'll tell you, I want Ohio State to never win a game for the rest of history, and I want the program to be dismantled in the dumpster forever. I do not want that for the Spartans at all.
Cameron, I got to tell
Maybe
you
it's
something.
a state pride thing. Maybe it's, I don't know.
No,
But
I think it's a more Midwestern approach, and I take an East Coast approach to stuff. But let me give you one thing. Your comment about Ohio State, if I told you you're 1 win away from seeing that program flatline, would you believe me? If you beat them
No.
a third straight year, Ryan Day is going to get fired. I believe it.
for how long, though? I mean, how many, what did we go, 0-10? 1-18?
No, I'm saying that program is a victim of its own success.
What you're going to see is Ohio State hit the reset button. You beat them this year.
Yeah.
They're going to have to go and get another coach. Now, I don't think Ohio State would hesitate. They're just going to pick up the phone. Herb, come on back, man. We sorry. We'll work it out. But we want you to come back and beat Michigan the way you used to.
But yeah. So no, all right. So Cameron, so when you hear State fans talk about going on the open market and getting a coach, do you believe State is a top 25 job in this country?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Me too,
without
man.
a doubt. And it's funny that you mentioned Oregon before, because I was going to say, where were they? You know, they're not a 100-year-old powerhouse.
No.
Like, they went out, had success, built a nice stadium, got a good locker room, did good marketing, and then, boom, they're good. You should expect to be that at least.
Cameron, I agree with you. And I mean, listen, for me, believe me, I miss when these games mattered. I miss when it was a top 10 matchup. We had it 2 years ago. That was the game of the week in America. I mean,
and it lived up to the hype.
Yeah, it did. It did. Oh, well. You know what's sad about it? The COVID thing and then Tucker being here and then D'Antonio kind of needing a diaper his last few years up there. It almost feels like Mark was never there. You know what today is?
Oh, yeah.
No, you know what today is? Does anyone know what today's the anniversary of?
Oh, is this trouble with the snap?
8 years ago today.
Wow.
My point is, that doesn't even feel real. That era of Spartan football, I had a buddy send me a highlight reel, and it was just like 5 minutes, and it was like D'Antonio's best moments. It doesn't even feel like Mark was ever there.
No.
It's like Tuck.
Mark tapped out after 2017.
And Tuck and COVID and the last, 5 years total. That's how fast your program can go from respected and good to toilet. It can happen even faster. But as I look back at stuff like that, it may as well be in black and white.
It's funny because you do. You look at certain programs, like I remember when Syracuse used to be good. Not anymore.
Okay, I don't know if that would be the comp I would draw.
But I'm saying like they're different programs that you're like, wow. I'm not talking about your powerhouse schools like the Floridas or the Tennessees, but I'm talking about schools that were consistently good, and then they just fell off and never really recovered. And that's what it does feel that way. D'Antonio's last 2017, the Holiday Bowl, his last really good year, he got his 100th victory.
That was zombie Gus Johnson on the call.
It was. And then you had 2021 under Mel Tucker. But other than that, you had a lot of pretty bad seasons mixed in between.
Oh, I love how D'Antonio loyalists get mad at me. It's like, well, this is what bad is. No, 7-6 is bad. Scoring 6 points in your bowl game is bad. All right? They were bad last 2 years. They were awful. And just because you didn't dead cat bounce and fall down the stairs and break your neck and die, it doesn't mean you were doing anything. Yes, this year is going to be a clown car. I mean, what does the record matter? 4-8, 2-10, 3-9, 5-7. It's all the same. Your ass.
If you don't make a bowl game in this day and age when you have gimme games handed to you, yeah, that's a bad thing.
You know my problem? I'm starting to go John L mode here where I'm hoping Michigan beats them by 60.
I think that's just spite.
It is spite. I want Haller and the power brokers embarrassed. I want them motivated to be great.
You like chaos. You're the instigator.
Yeah, I do.
You're the living embodiment of a troll sometimes.
What do you mean?
Like you
Now that feels hurtful. I have to tell you.
No, it's not. No. Because you like to see bad things happen and then step back and watch the world burn. Like the Joker.
I do. No.
That's what I'm saying.
Yes. I like, you know what I like is I like failure to be accentuated for the people. I feel like if you're a state fan and a ticket holder, or God help you, someone who donates money, you were wronged. What Tucker did to you is wrong. So in a roundabout way, I want any remnants of his existence at this school, including this staff of con artists, clowns, and grifters.
I think we all know that.
I want them shamed.
Unfortunately,
if I could march them down Shaw Lane nude and hit them with tomatoes, followed by nuns like Game of Thrones, I would do that. And I'd even let Harlan wear his headset unplugged.
I got to be honest with you. Even if Michigan scored 100 points, I don't think that you could shame yourself more than what you did against Rutgers.
Yes, you can.
I don't know, Mike, because that was like Disney movie awful. Like, that was scripted. Like, okay, then we're going to have this play happen. And then we're going to, no, see, that wouldn't happen in real life. Cutscene, it happened in real life.
They should just call Devin Bush, bring him back, and say, use the 50 as a toilet.
Well, he's not doing anything else.
Ain't that the truth? All right, 248-539-9797. Let me get Gabriel in the mix here, 97.1. What's up, Gabriel? How are you?
Hey, guys, what's up? Can you hear me?
Loud and clear. What's up?
I'm just calling. I'm only 19, and maybe I'm a bad Michigan fan. I've been told that by my friends because I usually don't hate on, Michigan State and stuff. But for me, at least for this game, I really don't have an interest. It's not because of State. It's because of what Michigan's done to themselves. Like, over these past few years, again, I'm only 19, so I haven't really lived through the traditions of college football. But, it's kind of boring, and I've lost the intensity of the game. And I kind of only live for the Ohio State game.
Yeah, you know what? And I do think some of it is because you're 19 because you haven't had the painful games. Like, you were 11 when trouble with the snap happened. So it didn't really mean that much.
That's crazy. That's crazy because as soon as Mike brought that up, I had PTSD. Not kidding, that was my first memory as a Michigan fan. So
No, but Gabriel, here's the other
That
thing.
was like my
Reality
first
is, I think part of what you're dealing with and what David's dealing with, and it's not a shot, it's just reality. You're the only team in America to have not played a single soul. You haven't played anything. What's your best win? UNLV? Seriously, you can knock Georgia. At least they played a ranked Kentucky team. You haven't played a functioning team. What team have you played that I'm supposed to care about? Now, that's not, I don't know. You might be the best team in America, which I am on record saying. It's very plausible. But I don't have any data points. And I will admit to you, the games are rather boring. I mean, I watch sports for a living. It is very difficult, even in a 60-minute quick cut. It's very difficult for me to get through one of your games. It is mind-numbingly bad.
Somebody sent me I think it was Rieger, like, oh my God, did you see how Indiana just scored? They're up 7-0. Like, Jeff, really? Is this your first time watching this? Trust me, they're going to win. Go ahead and bet Indiana. Live bet Indiana if you want. Go lose your money. And cutscene, Michigan scored, 52 unanswered points.
So I get it in that sense. This week will be another one of them. The Purdue game will be another one of them. You're going to essentially have a 9-week preseason until November 11th. Mm-hmm. And by the way, I'm going to pick you to beat Penn State. Penn State I don't know if they have a single completion of 30 yards through the air. Allen and Singleton have no explosiveness in the ground game. Now, I was about
to say, I don't think they have a run over 30 yards, but technically they would have had one, but it was a 25-yard run. He went unabated to the end zone. If it was like further down the field, he would have had it. But they haven't had any explosive run plays. They don't throw it deep. That's why even their media is saying, hey, dude, can you just throw the ball deep?
And again, I think Penn State probably has the best defense in America, but
they're saving their plays.
Okay, I'm done. I quit. I'll take Michigan to beat Penn State. All right, good talk. We will get to the people next, 97.1. We've talked Northville Lumber for a long time, oldest company in the state, largest Trex decking outlet in America. Nobody stocks more, nobody sells more Trex decking and lumber than Northville Lumber. It's right in their warehouse, mile down the road. No lead time, no wait time, no delays. You buy it, you get it, you build it. Whether you're a do-it-yourselfer or you're a pro. And they'll introduce you to a Trex certified pro to get that outdoor project done. So what do you need to do? Call Northville Lumber today or simply go to northvillelumber.com. That's northvillelumber.com.
Jeff Darlington, ESPN reporter, tweeted out a video last night of Lions fans just going nuts after the game. And he tweets, I've seen a lot of opposing fan bases make noise for a team after a win, but the Lions might have topped them all today. Or as Jared Goff said to me as he left the field, are you seeing this? Best fans in the effing league. Peter King estimated there were 25,000 Lions fans there.
Wow. I mean, that's wow.
Yep.
What is that, a third of the capacity there? That's amazing.
Yep.
I mean, I thought they'd travel well, and I know that you already got a bunch of transplanted Michiganders down there in the state of Florida and go to Tampa to see the Lions play when they're good. It doesn't surprise me that there'd be a lot, but that number,
Yep.
that's a big estimate.
Yep.
Check in with David on the ticket text. We'll get back to your
Yes,
calls.
let's just talk to David.
No, Rico and I had an electric commercial break where I basically put 17 bullet holes in one of these idiotic suggestion candidates. We're not going to say who because we're not going to hurt anybody's feelings. Let's just say it's someone that Wojo's brought up. David, go ahead.
Someone texts in, says MSU is not a top 25 program. 5 wins in a good year, 3 wins normally. You are a 6-win school. You only had the mark years that are great outliers, they say. Manny Diaz should be an individual you go after for this program.
Stop. Great defensive coordinator, horrific head coach. Yep. Thank you for participating.
Michigan fan here. Y'all should accept a top-tier coach in no less than 9 wins, but I want you all to keep cycling interim coaches and win 3 games every year. LOL, just being honest.
Yeah, I'll be honest with you. And this weekend notwithstanding, 52-10, 100-0, whatever it ends up being. If MSU makes the wrong hire here, the program will disappear. If MSU makes the wrong hire here, you are going to see fans turn their back on this program. Now, that's a dream if you're a Michigan fan. That's great. I'm just shooting you straight if you're a Spartan fan. College football is the difference between trains in the United States that just bump along on the railways and then like what they have in China where the trains are going 300 miles an hour and you can, get to the North Pole in 45 minutes. College football's moving at 300 miles an hour. The expansion, the NIL, the separation, MSU will be dead. Now, I'm going to wait and see what they do. But if you think I'm going to sit here and do let's just give it the old college try and let's give them 4 years.
Yeah,
you
you
no
don't get 4
longer
years.
get 4 years.
Yeah.
You don't even get 3. You wanted Pro Sports Light, it is, and wait until the 4 o'clock hour. Radio tease. Wait till you hear the quote from one college football coach who clearly does not understand the world he's living in. You are not going to believe the quote I give you.
Okay.
It's electric.
But yeah, right now you get 2 years and you better be moving forward. 2 years, and in year number 2, you're sitting there with 8 wins and a quarterback, something you could build around. And then people will extend. But other than that, yeah, 4 years, the days of Mark D'Antonio probably would be fired. And
No. Hold on. Time out. 07, he takes over. What did they do? 7 or 8 wins in year 1. 08 was the...
6. They went to 6-6.
Then they went to the Outback Bowl and Stafford beat them. Then 09 was like a 7-6 where they lost every game by 7 or less. 2010, they won the Big Ten.
No, but I'm saying it took a long time. Fans would have probably grown tired of him, especially after the last, when he goes 6-6.
Well, you know
or
what?
6-7.
When they've got fans footing the bill for the roster, fans have a right. And when they're bilking people prices that are more expensive than National Football League tickets, fans have a right.
Hey, we're saying the same thing.
I know.
here.
I'm not mad at you. I'm mad at the situation.
Like, yeah, that's what I'm saying. Him having 5 years, you saw what happens if you give a coach that much time. But now there was no portal, so which means you had to get players, you had to develop players. Now, Mark would have had all his players taken away from him.
But you could say Mark did have progress in year 2,
No,
so that helps.
David,
right?
he did, but the no-fly zone would have been flying
You're
at
right.
Florida, would have
You're
been
right.
flying at LSU, not here.
Well, then you have to make a decision to be a big boy. Period.
Right. I
That's
mean,
the choice they're put to. And look, Michigan being arguably the best team in America, I want that pressure. I want Michigan State to understand they're up against it. Michigan being the number 1 team in America should infuriate you because you're helpless to do anything to stop it.
right. And another thing that Michigan has that when you really look at it, I mean, I guess you did lose Andrew Anthony, but you didn't really lose him. But you don't lose people in the portal going other places.
No, they're doing a great job in
gather
player
them.
retention.
Right. You bring them in. So, yeah, other than a couple of wide receivers that you didn't throw the ball to anyway, you maintain to keep all your people and you bring in more. That's the sign of the new football elite now, that at the end of the season, you're not sitting there praying to God, oh, my God, I hope these 5 people don't go and play someplace else.
Let's go to Josh, 97.1. Josh, what's going on, man?
Hey guys, you said this is a safe space, right?
This is a safe space.
Judgment
All
free.
right, so in all honesty, I didn't respect your program up until you guys got marked.
Yep.
You guys were a mediocre program, and in the 90s, you only won more than 6 games twice, so that's how I thought your program was.
Yep.
And Mark made me respect you, and I hate that man to this day because of that. and I used to engage with you on Twitter and say, I was jealous of your guys' Big Ten ring. You know, I was jealous, and I literally was so happy when that man left. It's back to normal for me.
Josh, why would I be upset at that? It's the truth. Like, there's
Well,
nothing
I'm just
wrong
saying,
with that.
I just know it's, people come here and they're always scared, but I'm just saying you gave us a safe space. And
This is a total
this is how
safe
I felt
space.
your program was.
Yeah, but
I
Josh,
never believed
because
you
you're
guys.
right. Because you're right. Because that's why State fans, and I'll just speak for me. My frustration, it wasn't that State was just bad. It's that I always knew there was more there and they couldn't get out of their own way. Mark
Well,
was
it's
the
like
only
this
coach
year-
in my lifetime to get it right for a prolonged period of time.
Well, I feel like this year is literally, the stories that you heard growing up, the Big Ten and the Little Two,
Yep.
everybody else sucked. And you guys were tripping all over yourself, blowing games, your famous thing that happened. But it's just everything was backwards, and it was the worst years of my life, my late teens and early 20s, when I had to, accept it as an adult. You don't get to hide as a child and your team sucks. When you're an adult and your team sucks, it's not fun.
Well, Josh, I'd like to tell you things are okay now. You're going to win the Big Ten, I think, a
Thank
third
you.
straight year. You're going to the playoff. I think you got every right to believe you can get this done. I need to see you play somebody, but I'm not going to knock you. You're damn good. But, yeah, Josh, the wait was worth it. You're okay now, right? We're good?
We're great, Mike.
Okay. And enjoy
We're
this
great, Rico,
weekend.
too.
It's going to be
Thanks,
okay. Do me a favor. Call Jimbo down there. Go for 2 every time. I want pain. I'm sick like that as a fan.
You are. And that's why I said, Mike.
I want our biggest
you took
donors brought to tears.
You
I
took
want pain.
You took it the wrong way, but yes, the troll meaning you want to sit back and watch the world burn. You want to be the instigator, stir the pot, and just sit back and watch the chaos.
Yeah. Now, one of my favorite songs, that's actually a lyric.
Is it?
Yeah.
Okay.
What do you want?
You're a gaslighter. That's what basically Rico's saying.
That's not what he's saying. I don't say things to make people think they're insane.
I think you need to look up that definition again.
That's not even the
Roberto.
definition of the word. Rico, I blame you for that.
Swing and a miss.
I don't think he knows what that word means. I don't think he knows.
Blame David. David gave him the mic.
David, that's one.
No,
That's
I
one.
said you like to watch the world burn. You're the Joker. You just want to watch the world burn.
All right, let's pizza. Anyone? Enjoy pizza. You know you're a Spartan. You're down by 50 Saturday night. Have a slice. Honestly, what the hell? World turns. Pizza's delightful. You're a Wolverine and you are celebrating. I mean, honestly, you are up by 50. Life is good. Have a slice. And then we factor in that the game really doesn't mean anything because, well, life could be a hell of a lot worse. The point is, month of giving, National Breast Cancer Foundation, Hungry Howie's, whether you're a Spartan or Wolverine, is raising $5 million to a great cause to fight cancer, to donate to cancer research. So whether your team sucks or you're going to win a natty, buy some pizza, donate some money, and away we go. It's Hungry Howie's, month of giving. Hungry Howie's Pizza. It sure beats being a Spartan fan. All right, we'll get back to your calls in a second. You know, you want to talk about in life, you take a negative and make it a positive. This next segment is really embodies all of that. We took a segment I used to hate. I used to dread doing because I had to make fun of a friend in Rico Beard and talk about how ass the Big Ten is. But because Rico's a professional and a guy who got into Harvard, in case he hasn't told you, Rico said, no, sir. We are going to turn this frown upside down. And Rico even admitted the Big Ten is ass. So what we give you now is the Rico Beard Top 10 Power Rank, which is not the AP poll. It is a power rank of who Rico believes would be favored over the other if they played today. I give you the no longer hostage situation Rico Power Rank. Rico, let's do it.
Michael, we have a new team that has cracked the top 10. Ladies and gentlemen, I introduce to you the University of North Carolina. North Carolina defeated the U 41-31.
And it wasn't that close, by the way.
No.
That was all garbage time for Miami. For me, look, they got Tez Watkins back. He was one of the most impactful transfer portal guys. He comes back because the NCAA got a brain. 6 catches, 134 yards.
Don't know what happened, but we're going to let Tez play.
And again, I've been saying since the beginning of the year, I like Drake May more than Caleb Williams. I just think he's a 6'4", 225-pound, designed in a lab NFL quarterback. Can they get this done? Can they win the ACC? Can they go to the playoff? Yeah.
The road is there.
What they did to Miami was they pounded the rock. That was unexpected. Miami generally will stop you on the ground. So, look, I'm fine with it. Their tests are incoming.
Yeah, down the road. At number 9, taking a step back, is the University of Oregon, losing a close game in UW, 36-33. Mistakes were made. Dan Lanning had opportunities to maybe kick field goals, decided to go with analytics and go for it. But I got the Ducks at number 9.
I think they're underrated. But it's your power rank. You do whatever you want. I think they're clearly one of the 6 best teams in America. But it's your rank, not mine. Go ahead, number 8.
Well, there has to be a penalty for losing, Mike.
No, not when you actually play. See, this is the difference.
No.
You're doing what Costa does.
I'm not doing that, Mike, but I have other teams that did well.
My point is, they go to Washington and play an absolute classic, and you want to sit here and draw a warm bath for Kenny.
Then tell me who I need to move them up for, because that numbers.
Go ahead.
Maybe I'll move them to number 8.
Who's number 8?
Texas.
Yes.
They didn't play anybody.
Fine.
They were on a
Put
bye.
Oregon above them. F Texas. I hate that state. Horns down.
Boy, how things change.
No, I'd have Texas higher too, but I respect when you actually play someone.
Mike, I do as well, but I also sit here and reward victories. So when you go out and do what you're supposed to do and you lose, you're not out the top 10, but you do have to take a step back. Okay? You don't get to rise up because you lost a close game.
I know
That's not
my
how
truth.
life works. Okay? It's not orange slices
I know my truth.
and juice boxes.
You can do whatever you like.
At number 7,
I'm not participating. I'm kidding. Go ahead. Who's number
Penn
7?
State University. They had a laugher against UMass.
All right, right here, right now, neutral field. Oregon versus Penn State. Who are you taking?
That's a great question.
It's easy. Oregon. You should change that ranking.
No, I would probably take Penn State, Mike.
Wow, team can't put the ball 10 yards down the field. You're going to take them.
Yes, I would.
I
like
love
Penn State.
arguing through this. It's outstanding. All
I
right.
like Penn State. You know what? We're going to find out a lot about Penn State this weekend as they
Who do you
travel
like early look ahead in that game against OSU? Do you like Penn State getting 4.5?
I kind of do because I don't know who's all playing for Ohio State.
You know what I like in that game? The under. I think both of these offenses stink.
Yeah,
Stink.
Penn State is exactly who I think they are. Ohio State is underachieved all year.
I think Michigan has the best offense of the 3.
I know, but that wasn't an option. You said between.
Oh,
Penn
I
State
know.
and
I'm
Ohio
just
State. Yeah.
saying. Go ahead.
At number 6 is Oklahoma. They're also on a bye, but defeated,
Also overrated.
but defeated Texas.
I'm not acknowledging that.
They did. It happened. That's facts. Like it or not. I got Oklahoma at 6 on a bye.
It's fine. I really hope Texas gets a crack at them in the Big 12 title game because they'll ace that team out.
David, any comment to this? Okay.
No, David's not participating. He's told you his energy's low. He's not excited about the rivalry game. Wah, wah, wah. He's not going to help us this week.
I'm not going to say what I was just thinking. So
Why don't you just say it?
Oh,
say it. Come on.
Mike's basically saying he won the election.
I want a recount. Cotton Bowl recount.
Texas, he's just ignoring it.
Mm-hmm.
Right. If I say it enough, it's true.
They put those ballots in Indiana Carp.
Right. I'm doing the same thing the bought and paid for media does with the Heisman Trophy. If I say it enough, it has to be true.
At number 5, the Ohio State University. They handled their business. They went down to Purdue, got it done 41-7. They're still not looking right.
They're not right. And their coach put shoe polish in his beard.
Has nothing to do with whether you win a game or not.
It has everything to do with it. Everything. If Ryan Day would age gracefully, they'd pick up more 4th and 1s. It's science. I think they're overrated, but you're right. You find out this weekend. Now, yes, they're at home and they're favored by 4.5 over Penn State, but if I had Oregon going to C-Bus this weekend, this is where I think you're disrespecting Oregon, and I think you're being a victim to one result in a vacuum.
No, I'm being the person that says every week it changes, and when you lose, yeah, you're going to fall.
Well, you know what? You read cartoon books. Next.
It makes a ton of money. And mine are worth a lot. So I don't know what to say.
Look, Kenny's disgusted. What's the problem?
Leave him in his cartoon books alone. I like the cartoon books. Come on now.
I'm sorry.
But Kenny, this is when I know he has nothing when he goes to the cartoon books. That's when I know Mike is just sitting there floundering on the ground.
I'm so upset.
At number 4,
Washington.
Simply because, you know what? You just lost a key piece to the puzzle this week.
Georgia.
The Georgia Bulldogs. Now, they beat Vandy 37-20, but they lost Brock Bowers for at least the season. He could be back, but that, to me, was major.
Look, Bowers is the best player in America, and you take him off the offense, it's going to hurt. Now, they have Ladd McConkey. They have Ra-Ra. They got Lovett. They have weapons, but we're going to need to see Carson Beck operate and continue to grow without the cheat code. I mean, Bowers truly is a unicorn. Georgia's still really good. I'm glad you moved him down a little bit.
I got it right.
I want to see it.
Oh, okay.
I feel like North Carolina at 10 was good. I feel like this is good. The rest of these are an atrocity.
I should have, Oregon 2? Okay.
No, I would have had them 4 or 5.
At number 3, I got the University of Michigan. They dismantled Indiana. They scored 52 unanswered points and basically scored all their points in the second quarter on. They didn't score anything in the first. They did what they were supposed to do. They got it done, and they're still just kind of hovering, waiting for that Penn State game.
Yeah, they're a freight train. Now, they're doing what they should do. Who you play and how you play. They've passed the how you play the last 3 weeks. They're a machine. But when you haven't played anyone, I'm going to need you to go ahead and also turn that off. I am not going to look at that even in a passing manner. Now there's Urban talking about Michigan State football.
He's breaking down the game film.
Urban, come home.
He's breaking down the game film. Yeah.
What film?
Well, at least Rutgers.
They ought to have a side-by-side of Harlan Barnett and Ronald McDonald.
Okay. Just a slander. At number 2, UW, the University of Washington, defeating Oregon at home 36-33 in one of the games of the week.
You think Urban's excited looking at the roster he's going to inherit?
He looks intense.
He looks like, he just puked on Jerry DiNardo. Oh, what a segment.
I've lost mine.
Washington's really good. I still don't trust them in a big spot. I still.
What else do they need to do?
Well, it must be nice when you get your biggest game at home. My point is, all things being equal, is their front 7 going to be good enough against a team like Michigan? The world may never know. And who's number 1?
But I can say the same for Michigan. Can you handle, and your defense handle Washington?
Right, that's because you're a biased party.
At least Washington has played somebody. Okay? Sorry. And at number 1 still is Florida State.
Oh, come on.
Florida State just defeated Syracuse 41-3. Florida State still has the best victories, Mike. What
All
do you-
I don't know, man.
You
Yeah,
keep saying play somebody. They played people.
The problem
They've won
is
2 games away from Tallahassee.
Clemson and LSU actually are booty now. So I don't know if that
They're
matters.
still better than UNLV and East Carolina.
Yeah.
Noted. Rico wins.
I might have put Washington at 1 with Oregon being 5. That's
Well,
probably what I would do.
That's because you're a true professional.
Yeah.
And I want to thank you for your participation.
All right, next week, David's and Mike's top 10.
Yes, we're going to do the Christian top
know what?
10. Which apostle will reign supreme?
David and Mike's top 10, and I'll get to just ridicule it all week long.
Rico's got Pontius Pilate at 6. All right, we're out of here. Great stuff by you. Turn that off up there. 97.1.
Seasons are very long and things change throughout the course of the season. If the Lions go to Baltimore and win, it's hard to envision where and if it could go south. Like you're setting yourself up.
Stop. We know there's one.
There's one thing. Yeah, there's one thing. But they are really setting themselves up to have a chance at that number 1 seed that he talked about. A win over Baltimore will go a long way toward helping about that. But even if they lose to Baltimore, the Lions' schedule compared to San Francisco and Philadelphia's is on paper significantly easier. They still have the 5 division games. They still have Denver on the schedule. I mean, they still have some teams that don't look very good, that really could. Nothing's a punch button win, right? But those are 6 games the Lions have the luxury of playing that Philly and San Francisco don't have.
This is true. I mean, the Bears, and we'll see what happens with Justin Fields if he's hurt for the long term or if he was just out for the rest of that game yesterday. But if he's out long term, that torpedoes what they're trying to build. Takes a big old detour.
Jeff Darlington, ESPN reporter, tweeted out a video last night of Lions fans just going nuts after the game. And he tweets, I've seen a lot of opposing fan bases make noise for a team after a win, but the Lions might have topped them all today. Or as Jared Goff said to me as he left the field, are you seeing this? Best fans in the effing league.
You know what this music reminds me of?
Peter King estimated there were 25,000
No, when I hit the
Lions
fan
fans.
portal and
Wow.
became an Oregon State fan.
I mean, that's
It's beautiful out. It's sunny.
wow.
My team's going to
What
win
is that,
10
a
games.
third of the capacity there?
Dark
That's
horse in
amazing.
Pac-12. We play physical
I mean, I thought they
football.
travel well, and I know that they're all. You already got a bunch of
Everything my alma mater's
down
not.
there
Okay,
in the state of
David,
Florida,
ticket
and so
text we get to the
Tampa
people
to see
I
the
have
Lions play
asked.
when they're good. It
In the
doesn't surprise
face
me
of
that there'd be a lot, but
Michigan State's
that
coaching
number-
search and the program
That's a
dead
big
cat
estimate.
bouncing.
Yep.
And look, they're starting over. The whole thing is a complete redo. They're going to get bombed on Saturday. What should Rico and I's expectation be for our program? For instance, Rico and I both hold MSU to a pretty high standard. Now, attendance figures and revenue and conference affiliation, they play the most important role in any of these discussions. MSU's top 20 in all of them. I believe State should be a 9-win program every year. And every third or fourth year, go compete to win the Big Ten. People don't like that opinion. I believe MSU should be able to poach a coach from a winning program. Why? Money. Simple. I believe the problem for MSU is they never can get on the same page. I think the only reason you wouldn't be able to go and get an Urban Meyer or things of that sort, if I'm a guy like Urban or I'm a big-time coach, I'm going, well, A, you're going to pay me $10 million a year, and B, I'm going to need $10 to $12 million a year to go buy a roster. MSU can't get out of their own way.
See, I think they did money the wrong way as well, where they just relied on two people to foot the bill for everything, and one can't do it anymore, and the other said, F you, I'm taking my money and going home.
Yeah, via email night before a game. Not great. But I'll leave that alone. Sorry. David, ticket text.
Michigan State needs to compete for second in the Big Ten East, 8-win seasons. I want to hate State every season, not what they are currently. That is from Dan. Someone else says, I am wearing my Spartan hat too, Rico. Way to go, Greg and Coral.
You found another loser.
Another person. I got Rico's back.
Wow.
Win or lose, I bleed green.
Wait,
wear
this
it
is on?
proud.
My bad. I thought I was talking to David in the talkback.
From Chris. Tell Mike.
Sorry, I'm not fair weathered.
Oh, hold on. Time out. David, we'll get back to you in a second. See, he just hit on something. I think the whole fair weather thing is the biggest joke in fandom.
No, I'm not saying, oh, you got to go out there and wave a flag, but I don't burn all my gear because my team is losing and, oh, I'm ashamed to wear it. I'm not.
Well, I tactically just collected it all and moved it to a portion of the closet that is inaccessible.
To me, that's silly. I don't judge you like you judge me, though. Go ahead, David.
From Chris. Tell Mike, MSU.
See, that's the Christian thing to do. Go ahead, David.
Oh, please.
Wow. MSU should aim to be the same as Penn State, not fourth behind them, from a lifelong Wolverine.
Yeah, I'm with you there. I'm with you. And again, listen, guys, the reason we're approaching this today, I mean, Urban Meyer's comment to the Knoxville quarterback club about not wanting to return to coaching, the whole point was this coaching search, if you wanted MSU to shoot for the stars, you were made fun of. And what the bought and paid for media present to you is just lazy garbage. Oh, Narduzzi was there. Oh, that's a candidate. Hey, what about Chris Creighton? And it's like, yeah, what about meth? So I just asked the question, what should be acceptable for Michigan State? Go ahead. Tell us what you think our program should be. Clearly, it's not what we are right now because, again, bit of an embarrassing situation.
Someone on the ticket text says, here is my MSU coaching search hot list. Top 3. 1, Urban Meyer. 2, Urban Meyer. 3, Urban Meyer.
You know what's sad? I think that's how about 2/3 of State fans are. And I say it's sad because the school is incapable of executing it. I said that from the beginning. The day Rico brought that up after his 5-star zone. They're never going to be capable because they can't get, it's like MSU. You remember the early 90s short-lived hip-hop group Crisscross?
Jump, jump.
Yeah. That's MSU. They put their clothes on backwards. State can't even put their pants on correctly. You're not going to be able to do what A&M did to get Jimbo or what LSU did to get Brian Kelly. That takes a unified front, a president that understands football, a hitter of an AD, and donors aligned. No political forces, no BS.
No, but you're also missing the point.
You put your pants on backwards as a fashion state.
No, you have a goal, and you don't care what people think about your goal. You just want to win, and you feel that this is the best thing. At MSU, they cared way too much what the media, especially Detroit media and ESPN, has to think about them. And then people are like, well, if I have to hear one more time, well, what are people going to say? I don't know. When you start winning, congratulations. We want to do game day. We want to bring the big noon kickoff to East Lansing because you're winning, because you're interesting. That's what they'll think about you. But if you hire this coach, he once did this. He once said that. I don't know. I think you're reaching too high. Maybe just stick with a MAC school. And this is coming from State fans, not Michigan fans. State fans are pretty much resigned to the fact we just want to sit aside in the corner and pray to God that D'Antonio 2.0 rises up from the ashes.
So you know what's going to be fun? The stadium will be empty. Their coffers will be empty, and the program will cease. And that's okay. Because at least they're telling me who they are, and I don't have to care. Because new college football ain't waiting for them. So good, do it. If you can hear me up in East Lansing, and who am I kidding? I know you hear me. You listen to every effing word I say. You're losers. You want to be winners? Act like it. I can't stand it. It's like I can't stand my own school. They have a guy who will die to win in Tom Izzo. He will die to win. Mm-hmm. And they still can't figure out what it takes on the football side.
And I think a lot of that is because
they're losers.
No, they're not losers. I think Izzo does what he's supposed to do because nobody bothers him. And he just says, I want to win my second title. And he's failed many times. He's put together great classes and failed in the tournament. But he keeps coming back and nobody bothers him. Nobody walks in and says, Tom, maybe do this, maybe do that. They leave him alone. But this, everybody has their hand in the pot trying to say, well, we hired my guy instead of going to get the guy.
David, go ahead. I'm sorry.
Under no circumstances should you accept anything less than a great season. A great season to me is defined as being in the hunt for the Big Ten championship. That would be every year. Todd from East Point.
I mean, Todd, cool. But I also try to be realistic about stuff. You know, the Big Ten is a super conference. It takes time. You got to get your program on rock solid footing if you're going to get into fistfights with Michigan, Ohio State, etc. You can't do it every single year. But my point is you should be relevant every year. You should not be losing by 50 to these teams. Like, I don't know if you guys remember, I've kind of had an issue with Mel Tucker in that when he loses, man, do they lose big. You know, these games against Ohio State, they're not acceptable. Losing is. Getting murdered is not. Having Rico at Raising Cane's with 8 minutes left in the first quarter in Columbus is not acceptable.
Wait, but the fact that I had to go to 3 different Raising Cane's is because the lines were too long because everybody left the game early.
Right. So that's my point. Like,
seriously, David, had to go to 3 different ones.
The fact that you left a football game 7 minutes in is remarkable.
After driving hours to get there.
Like, that's something that, God forbid, you have a digestive issue and you're just going to lose it everywhere in the seats. That would be like I'm leaving 7 minutes in. Rico took one look at what was going on the field and went, nope, no thank you.
It started off as a joke. Chuck. I was with Chuck.
The Chuck.
I was with Chuck. And I'm like, Chuck, you know, it'd be funny. We should just probably just leave. And we laughed it off. And then it was just like 21-0. Like, we should just go. And then we left. And I was like, how about this? Me, you, and we had his kid. I'm paying. Let's go get some chicken. Because he had never had Raising Cane's. Let's go get some Raising Cane's. And let's
I missed an opportunity because the sad pizza Urban Meyer golf cart thing, there should have been one made of you.
Him sitting right in
The
front of the
sad
Raising
dip-
Cane.
Rico, sad fingers.
The sad dipping sauce. Yeah, it was me and Chuck.
Just sitting on a golf cart, eating ice cold chicken. Touchdown, Buckeyes.
And seriously, that was the whole conference. We then compared that to the Chick-fil-A. We stopped talking Michigan State. That was the conversation. Just back from
It's the right move. All right.
It was the right
move. John Jansen Weight Loss Club, Ideal U Health Center. You could sign up today and get a $200 Visa gift card. You could be 15, 20, even 30 pounds lighter in just 30 days, or maybe by the time state hires a president. I don't know. Ideal U Weight Loss. They do it right. Worked for John Jansen. He lost 63 pounds, and he's kept it off. It's idealu.us. Lose weight, get the $200 Visa gift card, and be 15, 20, even 30 pounds lighter in 30 days. John did it. So can you. Way less. Go to idealu.us.
If you've been injured in an auto accident or slip and fall, life can feel like it's falling apart. My friends over at Applebaum and Stone are here to help. Ryan Applebaum and Eric Stone are personally involved with every client. They'll handle those difficult insurance companies. You can just take care of yourself. When you call Applebaum and Stone, guess what? You get them. They come to you, and they'll get you the money you deserve. Pick up the phone. Call Applebaum and Stone, 833-WINS-BIG. Tell them Rico sent you. That's 833-WINS-BIG.
All right. Let's get to the people. What's up? You all right?
I thought that went over the air.
No. I was just telling Kenny he needs to bring the same enthusiasm and damn near anger that you brought to that read. Be like, I'm Kenny Cott for booze, bitch. Get that agave. When's Kenny's next read, David?
Tomorrow.
Unacceptable. All right, let's get to the people, shall we? AJ is up next, 97.1. What's up, AJ? How are you?
Hey, guys. Great show. I've been blessed and lucky enough to go to about 200, conservatively 200 Big Ten games, most of them at Michigan. But the games are always better when the teams are good. So me watching this game as a Michigan fan tomorrow, not too excited. I may not even watch all of it. I might watch the beginning. But I think Mike hit the point that if you're at Michigan State, you should be expecting at least a 9-win season. You've got a national program in your with Izzo. Why not football?
No, and AJ, I see what you're saying because I agree with David, and I think kind of with you that you should be in direct competition with Penn State every year, battling them out. And I think both teams are around that 9-10 wins every single season. That's where I think it would be acceptable for Michigan State fans. It's just to see that because that means that, you know what, the ball bounces the right way. Maybe you get that 11-win year the way that you had in 2021. But, yeah,
exactly.
I'm with you.
I also think that you guys should be looking for a good Power 5 assistant coach, not a retread, not somebody who's been at a school as a head coach for a year or two. There are a ton of really great coordinators out there that I think will make a great coach. Let's face it, that's where most of the good coaches are coming from now. But I do think, like Mike, that Michigan State is definitely a top 25 program, and I think it's going to be one of the top 6 programs in the Big Ten when you consider who's coming in. I think they're up there with Oregon and Washington and that. So
AJ, the only difference I have when you talk about, hey, go hire a good Power 5 assistant, you're not wrong in that is typically what happens. Where I differ with you is I don't think this is a good job to learn on the job. This is a job you're going to get into a damn street fight from day one. The media ain't going to be your friend. You got Michigan down the street, you got Notre Dame down the road, and you got Ohio State down south. You're in the deep end of the pool here. And you're at a school that generally, if you haven't been a head coach and you don't understand what it's like to play politics and ego manage, you can get swallowed up at a place like State. So that's my only disagreement. I would love to give you a litany of the coordinators I respect and like, but my fear is you come here, you're probably going to go, what the hell did I just inherit? That's my one fear, AJ.
Do you mind if I ask you a question, Mike?
Not at all. I'm here till 6.
That anybody, I don't think anybody's going to have an undefeated or just, they'll possibly have a 1-game losing season, but with the teams coming in, this is probably going to be a team that wins a championship is probably going to have at least one loss, in my opinion.
Oh, listen, I mean, if you want to future-proof the conversation we're having, AJ, for me, Rico's brought it up. You got this 12-team playoff coming. If you're not making that 12-team playoff once every 3-4 years, you're no GD good. End. Nobody throws a party for a team that's 9-3 and finishes number 12 in America, but you still make the playoff in the new world. If you're telling me as a State fan I can't hope to make that playoff once every 3 years, shut the program down. You're wasting all of our time. And for the people who donate a hell of a lot of money, your money's getting wasted.
I guess I was saying if I had 3 out of every 5 years because it's a 12-team playoff. You should be competing for it. Not every year. But, yeah, you should be vying for, even if it's the 12th spot, you're in.
That's my point. I don't disagree with you at all.
And if you don't get in, you're like the Lions from last year where you lost on the last game, but you lost a tiebreaker.
And if you're a Michigan fan, it's the inverse. That if you miss the playoffs once in 5 years, that would be viewed as a grave disappointment and a bad season. But if you're a Michigan fan, I think you expect to make it 4 out of 5.
That's fair.
In the new world. You have to afford for bleep to happen. You know, God forbid.
One bad year, quarterback gets injured, something
Sure.
like that. You know what? Maybe the last caller had something, Mike.
What's that?
Unless they're waiting to see what happens with Ryan Day. Maybe just go get Brian Hartline, and Brian just says, whoever the up-and-coming next Ohio State QB, you're coming with me to East.
Here's your problem. And I'm not bleeping in the punch bowl. Brian Hartline's never even been a coordinator.
Brian Hartline, a coordinator now.
No, he's not.
Passing game coordinator.
Man, he's the do whatever Ryan Day says coordinator. The point I'm making to you is there's a big difference when you leave Columbus. You've been a player there, a coach there, and in many ways, you're kind of a coach in waiting. You leave there, and all of a sudden you go to Michigan State, and those people who returned your call, man, they ain't picking up their phone. You go to Michigan State, what kind of NIL program you running? What kind of money I got to build a recruiting class? I'm 37 years old. I got to go deal with the Fraggle Rock BOT? I got to go deal with whatever the hell's going on at State with NIL?
Nope. Right in the punch bowl.
My bad.
Just trying to come up with solutions, man, and just trying to help out.
My bad. Let's go to Ron, 97.1. What's up, Ron?
Hey, guys. Love your show. Long-time listener, and I am a big Michigan fan. I mean, Michigan fan. Michigan State, Michigan, but I bleed blue. Mike and Rico, please tell me you guys really don't want Urban Meyer to come to Michigan State. Because I catch your show here and there, and I heard a couple segments ago, or a couple weeks ago, that you guys were all on board with Urban Meyer. Please tell me you're not on board with that.
I'd be lying to you if I said I wasn't.
I am. Why shouldn't we?
Oh, my God.
What? What's wrong? Ron, talk to me.
Because I'm going to talk to you because I was the guy, you'll probably remember, I was the guy that called you and said, hey, Jim Harbaugh's having trouble at 49ers. I believe he's coming to Ann Arbor. And you're like, no way, you're high on crack. Well, that's what I'm going to say to you guys right now. You guys got to be high on crack.
Yeah, that's fair.
Urban Meyer's going to...
No, I mean, generally speaking, I think doing crack would make watching MSU tolerable.
But Ron, I'm on crack because I want to bring in a coach that could turn this thing around. I'm not saying he's coming here, but I'm saying, yes, I would love to see him here.
Yeah, the Harbaugh stuff, let's just be clear. I always have a hard time ever telling you a guy's going to leave the NFL to go to college. It's viewed as a step down.
Right.
Okay?
Right.
You landed him, and here's why. And I used your school as an example of how to do it right. When Harbaugh was coming to Michigan, they formed something offline that was called Project Unicorn. And they got all the hitters united. I mean, hell, John, I think, ran the up north coordinator position. They got everybody on board to recruit Jim, his wife, his family, his father, to bring him home. It was comprehensive. MSU doesn't have that. And that's why you're right. We're probably on crack to bring up the Urban thing. But when Rico brought that up, Ron, Rico's right. He's the only – look, he's not coaching. He's on TV. You can get him, hire him now, and he could start recruiting.
Yeah.
He would actually begin fundraising now.
Right.
You're not wrong to want it.
And here's the other thing. All of these players who look like they've tapped out will all of a sudden start playing because they know Urban's watching. I can't just drop passes anymore. I can't muff punt returns anymore. I got to do something because I don't want him walking in the door telling me, son, you can go. We're keeping the scholarship.
And the reality is, Ron, if you want me to be even more frank with you, I will be. I don't think State – now, I don't even know if I want this guy. Let me be unequivocal. I don't even know that I want this guy. But I don't think State has what it takes to go get Mike Elko. Ron, I know.
But it always amazes me. You don't really want this. Why not?
I mean, think about it. I know, Ron. I don't even know if they could take Duke's head coach. Because Ron, I know, please. I don't think they can put a comprehensive plan together because they're largely dopes. Thank you. Please, that's enough.
We'll have to wait and see what they can do.
Can you please put that on my board? I need that on my board in the worst way. That and I need the gov drop.
What's the gov drop?
Don't you worry about it.
You know what? We've lost Cap.
I love it, man. It's so dumb. Little audio clips make you laugh, but you know what, Rico, our team's going to be 2-10. Just allow me to enjoy. David. Thank you. Hey, your team's going to go 2-10. Here's what I sound like Saturday night. Hey, your team just hired Jason Candle.
Read something.
Perfect temperature to sleep is 68 degrees. Even caller Ron agrees. What's not up for debate is the best mattress. The iComfort Eco, supportive, designed to keep you cool, comfortable, and feeling like caller Ron. Serta's Perfect Sleeper, pressure relieving comfort and support while maintaining a balanced sleep temperature. Serta, made in Michigan, have been for 110 years. Just go to Serta.com to find a retailer near you. Caller Ron immediately becoming a power player in what's going to be the Stony Mojo tournament of July of 24. I can just tell you that right now. David, a few ticket texts. We'll get to the callers. Mixing in some college ball. Michigan now your favorite to win the Natty. Brock Bowers' injury. How much of that are you buying? Look, as a Michigan fan, I think it's totally fair to think, hey, we could win the whole thing. No issue. The problem is you played the worst schedule in America. I don't know. I don't have data points that matter to me. But you could still be the best team. We're going to find out in about a month. The other angle, just sorting through the BS. I mean, the Urban Meyer denial, not a denial yesterday, and just having fun with, why don't you guys tell Rico and I and Spartan Nation what we should just accept? What kind of program should we accept? And we've laid out what we think the program should be and the type of coach they should go and get, but we've had some fun with you guys. Opinions vary. We've had people call in saying you're gutter trash, 3-9 every year. But most people have said no. You guys are not unfair. 9 wins a year, flirting with this 12-team playoff on an every other year basis. That seems fair to me. Yeah. And if you're not going to be that, kindly F off. Don't waste any of our time.
10 wins keeps you in the discussion for the 12-team playoffs. 9 wins keeps you on the fringe. So that's why. Yeah, you win that extra game, 10 wins. That means you knocked off one of the big boys. Yeah, okay, you get to play a game on the road or maybe a game at Spartan Stadium for the first round of the playoffs.
Artisanal pretzels. David, what do you got?
I've been listening to you guys for too long that I know when drops will be made as I hear them. That is phenomenal, Justin in Lansing. Someone else says, I feel honored when I can hear the birth of a drop. Brad in Chesterfield. What did Coloron say? Oh. You guys went off the rails with the 3 soundboard. I was snorting laughing. Well done, Mike. Driving. I am almost in tears right now at this drop. That is from Kyle.
It's tremendous.
The other one says, my face hurts. I'm laughing so hard. That was hilarious.
Touchdown, Blake Corum.
Officially in tears now. Someone else says, you guys have got to stop. I got to keep driving this truck.
All right, we will get this back on the rails. Let's go to the people. Let's see what they have to say. We'll go to Brad, 97.1. Hi, Brad.
Hey, guys. How you doing? Great show as usual.
Thanks. You, Bradley. What's going on, buddy?
Geez, I haven't smoked in 30 years, but I need a cigarette after Caller Ron. Hey, guys, I want your thoughts on this, and I really think this guy's he's a leader of men. He's a great man. He's someone who can knight your university. He squeaky clean, and he knows, Mike, he knows your Antichrist very, very well. A lot of success. Pros wanted him. That guy would be by the name of David Shaw.
Uh-oh. Rico, take it away. I am the wrong guy to talk to about him.
I feel like Caller Ron right now, Brad.
Listen, basically anything after 2015, David Shaw basically went the D'Antonio route.
I was about to say he tapped out and just said, I'm just going to collect paychecks. He hasn't improved. He didn't do anything for Stanford at all.
He kept it going for a few years after Harbaugh left, but the reality is the program eroded, Brad. They were lifeless. His last 5 or 6 years there, I understand it's a tough job. I know COVID was even tougher because Stanford, they couldn't even have kids on campus. And look, you're not wrong for thinking outside the box, but here's the other problem, Brad. His style of offense makes Michigan look like Texas Tech. Like you cannot bring in David Shaw running stuff from 10 years ago.
Yeah, he just didn't evolve. He just said, I'm going to keep that same team that I took to the Rose Bowl, and we'll keep winning. And it was like the game passed him by.
David Shaw, 3rd and 8 running play. No.
Jet sweeps are back.
No. Let's go to Tom, 97.1. Tommy, what's up, buddy?
Hey, fellas. Great to hear the show today. Listen, I'm a lifetime Michigan fan, no doubt about it. But, one of the things I think a lot of us Michigan fans forget is that if it wasn't for D'Antonio kicking our butts up and down the football field, as long as they did. And, of course, Urban Meyer doing the same thing from Ohio State. I don't think our program is where it is today without it. And so what I would say is I hope you get the best coach you possibly can. And I hope you're looking at 11 wins every year, at least shooting for that, shooting for the playoff, right? Because iron sharpens iron. And I don't believe Michigan is going to be any good unless Michigan State and Ohio are at the top of their game. So, yeah, I mean, it should be Penn State, Ohio State, Michigan, and Michigan State in that conversation, probably with USC, maybe UCLA, maybe Oregon. I mean, but they need to be in the mix or we're going to end up irrelevant too one day. And as far as this year's game, put it on the P-Crap network, man. That thing, who cares?
Yeah, I feel bad for people who don't really know much about college football or don't really care about our teams. And, Tom, they're going to turn on that TV and be like, what am I watching?
Yeah, every now and then a network kind of jumps the gun thinking we got the it team. It was the Broncos last year. Remember, they started off every game. Russ is with the
Michigan
Denver.
State, under normal circumstances, is a really physical, really nasty football
Especially
game.
coming off of the tunnel thing that happened. You
Right.
just knew it.
It's why I had the opinion I had this summer that I'm telling you. No, if I were a Michigan fan, I wouldn't go up there. But now, dude, all bets are off. They're going to own the stadium, do whatever they want.
And I
don't know a single person in my life going to that game. It's incredible.
I know people going to the game. They're not losers.
That's because you know Alan Haller. He has to go.
All I would simply say, if you're Michigan State, and I'm hoping because I saw they're doing the whole go green, wear green, don't wear the black uniforms. Matter of fact.
Well, the jokes write themselves.
Right. That's what I'm saying. Put them away. You're not wearing them this year at all. You don't deserve to wear them because you're going to get, if you lose, I like the uniforms. I like the combination. I like the helmet. Bring them next year or a couple of years later when you start winning again.
Just wear them against Penn State. That's it.
No, don't even wear them then.
All right. Well, there's that.
No, because is
it a bad look if the AD decides this team is such ass, I don't want to watch it? Could Allen just fake like, hey, I've got the poops, I can't go tonight? What? You imagine if I was the AD? I'd be like, I'm not watching this crap.
Let me ask you a question.
Yeah, buddy.
As bad as things are you just going to fake doing a show? And say, you know what, I got the poops. I'm not going to do the show today.
Well, no, we're entertainers.
I understand.
We're not administrators. There's a difference.
It's his job, Mike. He has to be there. Okay?
I think I heard he's going to the cider mill that night.
Can you imagine Alan Haller alone at the Apple Orchard, 7:30 at night on a Saturday? I want to wander around the trees versus watching this nonsense.
People are walking around looking like, is that who I think it is?
Is that Sparty?
He has to be there.
Sparty's in a corn maze.
Okay.
I just wish there could be a fan protest.
Mike, you're already not going. What else do you want?
I don't know. You know what I want?
You want chaos. You want the stadium to burn down and implode. That's not going to happen. So go home, don't watch the game,
first of all, it can't
and do
happen.
something else.
The stadium's made of concrete and metal. It doesn't.
That's
burn.
why I said implode. You can burn the seats.
There are no seats. They're
There's
metal
seats in
benches.
there.
There's like seats for the old people down in front. If they had it right, they'd have seats everywhere. But they don't listen to me.
Well, it's probably because you bomb them every time you get a chance.
Because they're underachieving morons.
Okay. And you wonder why they don't listen to you.
Fair. 248-539-9797. That was really productive. I tell you about Moran Buick GMC. Hey, your schedule's packed this fall. While ignoring Michigan State, you're going to the Orchard, you're taking the kids around town, the Acadia seating for 7. Lisa, 23 Acadia, 24 months, $266 a month, $19.99 down, and you are ready to roll. They got the 23 Sierra 1500s. Moran giving you new stock daily, easy online ordering, moranexpress.com. Look, they have got tons of great deals. You're always going to get the best price period. It's on Telegraph, just north of Eureka and Taylor, or at moranexpress.com. It's Moran Buick GMC. We are professional grade. did you meet Will Smith? Rico Beard, let's begin, because I know you're a movie fan. And the Theater of Malpractice was showing a quad box this weekend. I need you to pick the biggest piece of coaching malpractice of the weekend. Are you ready?
You know what? Actually, I was thinking that I was going to be like, okay, Mike, the answers are Harlan Burnett.
No, he's on the
Deion
list.
Sanders.
No,
Okay.
I've got a 4-pack.
Okay.
And you're Doctor Strange.
Quad box.
There's only one way out of this.
All right.
Theater of Malpractice quad box will go around the room. Malpractice number 1. You're an interim head coach at your alma mater, dying to be the head coach, and you don't talk into your microphone once on a Saturday.
He does.
As you have kids misplaying kickoffs, punters dropping the ball, shotgun snaps on 4th and an inch. Harlan Barnett's entire existence is coaching malfeasance. Number 2. We go to the game of the weekend, Oregon, Washington. I give you Dan Lanning before the end of the first half. Dan, I get the analytics. I get that it's Michael Penix on the other sideline. But before the half, how did you just not take the points right there? Help me. I give you Brian Daboll before the end of the half. Here's an idea. 15 seconds to go. We don't have a timeout. Why is Tyrod Taylor even allowed to change the play? Brian, if you have to, go out on the field, nude, do the helicopter at the 40-yard line, take an obscenity penalty, and just make sure that snap doesn't happen. Fun fact, they cannot snap a ball if a coach goes lunatic fan mode and runs out onto the field. Or choice 4, the usually brilliant Eagles head coach Nick Sirianni. What are you doing with 2 minutes to go, and it's not Michael Penix on the other sideline? It's Zach Wilson. Why are you throwing the ball late? Hand it off, punt, play D, and make Zach Wilson go down the field and beat you. Nope. Whee! Interception. Dead. Biggest piece of malpractice, we start with Rico Beard.
Brian Daboll, because you finished not only the half at the 1-yard line, you finished the game at the 1-yard line.
Let's go to a man who might be Brian Daboll's kid, Kenny Cott.
Yes.
The beard is wicked.
Thanks, man. You caught me in the middle of a bad bite. I just bit into something. I'm sorry. go to David. Get back to me. I promise.
It's definitely Brian Daboll for me, because then you're complaining to your quarterback of why he did what he did, but it's your fault he did it in the first place.
Over the weekend, Kenny, are your mandibles ready?
Yes. Get the agave. No, I'm on Brian Daboll in this as well.
Okay.
I mean, I felt bad for you and Big G.
No, feel bad for him.
Because
I feel bad for my father.
You make the mistake at the half, but then to end the game, so close. It's like, no. What a way to lose.
I'd like to give you prime time. I just want to recap something here, okay? Especially for all the narrative-driven morons that are out there like Mark Jones, Louis Riddick, Joel Klatt, Gus Johnson, or generally speaking, any of these bought and paid for idiots. Hey, prime time. You blow a 29-0 lead against a rat-ass Stanford team. Then you go in the postgame and essentially hit your team with a bus, going, well, I need kids who love the game. A lot of these guys like the game. And third, we find out your son is sending out promo codes to his merch store at the half before blowing a 30-0 lead. Now, heaven forbid if you critique Coach Prime because you must have some ulterior motive, not know football, or just a spiteful son of a bitch. I'm none of the above. I like Deion. I think Deion's going to get it right. But what I don't
Some of your best friends are named Deion.
My point is, you have to call this man out for that hat trick of nonsense, no?
Yes, you have to call him out for that because your son is promoting his merchandise, which tells me, no, You're saying some kids only like it and don't love the game?
But why does he do this with the
He's
watch?
showing off his watch
But
because
why?
he's rich and he's got a rich daddy. Your son doesn't love the game, and you're banking the whole team around your own kid. So basically, you're calling out your son. You don't do that at halftime of any game. You should be focused on finishing. So, no, you can definitely criticize
And when
Deion.
your kids blow a 30-0 lead, that ain't about them loving the game. Maybe you should have taken your shades off, paid attention to what was going on, and done something.
Look at you hating. It was 29-0.
Oh, my bad.
Right. 30. If it was 30, they would have won by 1, Mike.
All right. Also from the weekend, dueling Hail Marys. Which is worse? I give you Houston and West Virginia. West Virginia on a 4th and 14 from the 32 throws like a 10-yard pass, 17 guys missed tackles, touchdown. Unthinkable. Totally unthinkable. 12 seconds left. Now they celebrate, take a penalty. So now Houston gets the ball at like the 45. They give up a Hail Mary the other way. You got 17 guys with oven mitts bouncing the ball all over the place. Rico, which one is actually worse? The Hail Mary where bouncing and ish happens, or clown carring a 4th and 14, which is just a regular football play?
The clown car. Because at this, as we like to say, mistakes were made on both sides. You didn't tackle anybody. You let them score. But then you're West Virginia. Act like you've been there before. Don't rush out on the field because the clock's not at 0. Don't give them extra yardage because mistakes happened.
Let me bring you to something that's difficult to wrap your mind around. You might have a problem if a nerd from psychology class can kick a 40-yarder and the kid on scholarship for your team can't make a 37-yarder. Purdue,
missed 2
shout
of them.
out LeBron, not 1, not 2, not 3. Purdue's kicker goes 0 for 3. They bring a kid out during a commercial break for like win your books for the semester.
And a couple grand.
And he pipes a 40-yarder. What's worse, the fact that the kid makes it and your kicker doesn't, or the fact that your Purdue is a 3-touchdown underdog kicking 3 field goals against Ohio State?
That the kid, because Mike, it's worse that the kid came out of the crowd. Because how many times have you said, my God, go get somebody from the soccer team. You can just go get somebody out the crowd to kick. And they literally did find somebody out the crowd who outdid your kicker. The kicker couldn't be happy. And if I'm the special teams coach, I'm going to get his name.
I need you to explain something to me. How is it that Tyreek Hill was fined and a penalty was administered for him grabbing a cell phone on a touchdown, doing something fun, but yet anytime an offense or a defense does something meaningful, the entire team is allowed to run 80 yards into an end zone and do a choreographed rendition of like Hamilton, and there's no penalty?
Yeah. Got to take your shot now. Because he used a prop. And that's what, had he just did the backflip.
Rico.
I know. Hey, cameras.
I don't care. I hate these. They don't make any money.
If he had not used a prop, and the second he did it, everybody, it was probably sweet. Hopefully the camera was rolling.
But isn't the football the prop sometimes in these
because
celebrations
it's
when they do a bowling?
It's a part of the game, just like you can't use the goalpost. If you dunk over the goalpost, that's a fine. Grabbing a phone, shout out Joe Horn, that's a fine.
These rules are really dumb. I still don't understand anything
But you're
just
right.
said.
You can literally do the cha-cha slide off of an interception. You can, but you can't use a prop. I think it's dumb. I like the fact. My only thing was, man, I hope that phone was rolling because that would have been some awesome video.
No, it was. I think it was intentional and planned, but it was. They turned that video around and were showing it on the Red Zone Network.
Gotcha.
Even though I was muted because Scott Hansen is Satan, I was able to see that video.
During the witching hour?
We had a situation and pull the plug on this idiot. David, how are we on time? Do I have time for one more? How bad do you have to be at your job that people are willing to pay you $76 million to F off into the sun? Straight spite pay. If you thought the scene in Moneyball was bad, where Billy Bean, Brad Pitt, tells David Justice the Yankees are paying you to play against them, then what do you consider Jimbo Fisher? Because right here, right now, after another mind-numbing loss against Tennessee, they are going to pay this man $76 million to kindly leave. So my question to you is, if he's not the fit, clearly not, who is?
Mike, you just got to look a little bit north of Texas to the wonderful state of Colorado.
Prime? At A&M?
Oh, he's going to bring the cowboy hat and the sunglasses.
I like it.
Shador's going to wave the watch around.
I like it.
Yeah.
I like it.
Coach Prime, A&M. And what, screw it. Give him $100 million. We got oil money. Doesn't mean a thing.
Love it. And that is your weekend report.
It is rivalry week. The battle lines have been drawn. You're either a Michigan or Michigan State fan, but what better way to bring both sides together at a tailgate or party than a Tito's cocktail? This week's essential cocktail is Tito's Championship Cherry into sweet splash.
Put some energy into it, Cot. Let's go.
Tito's Championship Cherry here for your tailgate festivities. Here's what you're going to need. 1.5 ounces of Tito's, 3 ounces of sparkling water, 1/4 ounce of simple syrup, 2 maraschino cherries, 2 black cherries. Here's what you're going to do. You're going to muddle the berries and cherries, add the Tito's and syrup, shake and strain over ice, and top it with some sparkling water. Recipes for premium Tito's drinks on YouTube page or on Tito's.com. 80 proof Tito's handmade vodka distilled and bottled in Austin, Texas, crafted to be savored responsibly.
When did you meet Will Smith? Rico, Beard, let's begin, because I know you're a movie fan. And the Theater of Malpractice was showing a quad box this weekend. I need you to pick the biggest piece of coaching malpractice of the weekend. Are you ready?
You know what? Actually, I was thinking that I was going to be like, okay, Mike, the answers are Harlan Burnett.
No, he's on the
Deion
list.
Sanders.
No,
Okay.
I've got a 4-pack.
Okay.
And you're Doctor Strange.
Quad box.
There's only one way out of this.
All right.
Theater of Malpractice quad box will go around the room. Malpractice number 1. You're an interim head coach at your alma mater, dying to be the head coach, and you don't talk into your microphone once on a Saturday.
He does.
As you have kids misplaying kickoffs, punters dropping the ball, shotgun snaps on 4th and an inch. Harlan Barnett's entire existence is coaching malfeasance. Number 2. We go to the game of the weekend, Oregon-Washington. I give you Dan Lanning before the end of the first half. Dan, I get the analytics. I get that it's Michael Penix.
Seasons are very long and things change throughout the course of the season. If the Lions go to Baltimore and win, it's hard to envision where and if it could go south. Like you're setting yourself up.
Stop. We know there's one.
There's one thing. Yeah, there's one thing. But they are really setting themselves up to have a chance at that number 1 seed that he talked about. A win over Baltimore will go a long way toward helping about that. But even if they lose to Baltimore, the Lions' schedule compared to San Francisco and Philadelphia's is on paper significantly easier. They still have the 5 division games. They still have Denver on the schedule. I mean, they still have some teams that don't look very good, that really could. Nothing's a punch button win, right? But those are 6 games the Lions have the luxury of playing that Philly and San Francisco don't have.
This is true. And the Bears, and we'll see what happens with Justin Fields if he's hurt for the long term or if he was just out for the rest of that game yesterday. But if he's out long term, that torpedoes what they're trying to build. Takes a big old detour.
Jeff Darlington, ESPN reporter, tweeted out a video last night of Lions fans just going nuts after the game. And he tweets, I've seen a lot of opposing fan bases make noise for a team after a win, but the Lions might have topped them all today. Or as Jared Goff said to me as he left the field, are you seeing this? Best fans in the effing league. Peter King estimated there were 25,000.
All right, 5 o'clock. Great to have you. It's been a fun show, albeit some depressing topics. We took a little break from the Lions to talk a little rivalry and a couple notes. Michigan, now your betting favorite to win the national title. Why? Brock Bowers got hurt. Now, again, I'm not telling you to run out and bet it. Plus 300. But I guys, you know the drill. I shoot you straight. Anyone who doesn't think I shoot you straight is just a low-functioning moron. When you're good, I tell you. When you're bad, I tell you. You're really good. But the problem in betting it is I'd be betting it on hope.
Futures.
Or projection or what I want to be true if I'm a Michigan fan. You don't have a lot to hang your hat on because the numbers you're producing don't mean anything. You're playing just trash. My team. Indiana, UNLV, Bowling Green. I mean, guys, you've
then a bye week after this, and then you play Purdue.
You played the worst schedule in America. Now, how you've played the last 3 weeks makes me think it won't matter who you play because you're going to dump truck them too.
You're a freight train.
So we wanted to rap about that a little bit, and unfortunately, David wasn't excited. Well, then I brought up, but David, how can't you be excited? You're the betting favorite to win the Natty. You're playing Michigan State this week. You're going to win. You're going to name your own score. And, David, you said, well, it's boring. Now, Rico and I took some offense to it because it's like boring. We got punters who can't catch footballs, and I got to listen to it's boring winning 52-10. We got a coach who fumbled an $80 million bag messing with his, and here we go.
I just was stopping you before you went someplace.
I moved on.
Okay,
I moved on.
Didn't know where you were going.
No, we're keeping it professional. People are driving home from work, for Christ's sakes. I'm making a point. Caller Ron. I wanted to know from David and from the Michigan fan bases, what would it take for you to be excited? If being the betting favorite for the Natty isn't, if bombing Michigan State 52-7 this weekend isn't, what is it? What is it going to take? Has this schedule lulled you into such a slumber that nothing short of November 11th against Penn State will get you your gears moving? That was one. The other thing we talked about, on the heels of Urban's public denial, non-denial, that's a denial, Rico and I just said, why don't you guys tell us? Spartan fans get upset with what Rico and I have to say. Wolverine fans get upset about what we think Michigan State should be, can be, etc. Tell us what we should accept. So we asked the question, are we a 7-win program? Are we a 5-win? Like, what is it in your mind that we should just accept out of life? Rico and I have come to an agreement that basically our expectation is MSU should be a 9-win program. And every 2 or 3 years, be more than that. In the land of a 12-team playoff, that means you're kind of making the playoff every other year. 9-3 is going to get you in with a supreme strength of schedule. 10-2 absolutely gets you in.
Yeah.
So even if I said in continuum we lose to Michigan and Ohio State every year of our miserable lives, there'd still be a way to make it.
Because chances are Michigan and Ohio State would be playoff teams as well, and there'd be good losses.
But Rico and I also believe MSU, if they were serious about their business, and hey, wake me up when they hire a coach. I'll know right away if they were serious. Yeah, they should be able to go poach a coach. Yeah, they should be able to reach for the stars. Yes, you should call Urban. Yes, you should call some other big names. Why? Money. Hell, Les Moonves over here has been telling you about the Big Ten TV deal for years. Well, newsflash, we're not on a rev share with the school. That money just goes into their coffers. You want to make it? Spend it. So the bottom line is you've got the Michigan angle on what will it take to get you excited. And then there's this Michigan State angle of what should we expect? Because when you talk to some of the dishonest people locally, Wojo being one of them, this whole idea, I know what Wojo believes. State should be a 6-win program, make a cute little bowl game, and hire some clown-ass boob as their head coach so he can write pithy little picks columns and recycle those things from 1998. That's reality. He won't say it, but it's real. I don't subscribe to that. That's why I'm not going to do this coaching list nonsense. You won't like the names I give you. You'll tell me they're unrealistic, and we end up right in the same place. So judgment-free, no fear of reprisal, no yelling. You cannot offend Rico and I. You could say our program deserves to be 2-10. Do whatever you like. But let's just get on with it. 248-539-9797.
No, you're right.
And Rico's in a Spartan hat today.
Because
what a set of stones on this guy.
You know what? For that, I'll wear one tomorrow and the day after. Why? I went there, and how this football team plays doesn't matter. So
caller Ron is stunned.
Well, you'll get over it.
Go ahead.
I think that this team realistically should go back to the days when they were competing with Penn State every year to be that team. Saying that, I remember when Penn State, all of a sudden, they caught all the breaks. They won the Big Ten. I think the same thing is here, where maybe you knock off Michigan or you knock off Ohio State, but you should be competitive. You should be one of the halves in the Big Ten. I don't care who's coming from the Pac-12. You should still be one of the halves in the Big Ten because you have the resources to get this thing done. Building a brand new $30 million athletic complex doesn't say, oh, but we're poor. We got to go out and hire whatever coach wants to come here. No, you should be able to go out and find somebody. And you're right. It's going to be interesting to see who they actually go after. And you're probably not going to get your first coach. I hope Spartan fans are ready for that. You're going to get turned down because nobody ever lands their first coach. But, man, you got to shoot for the stars. You can't just say, well, let's just find the most mediocre guy who'll take our money and hopefully in 4 or 5 years we'll be okay. Because if that's what you're shooting for, you're going to lose a fan base. If that's what you're shooting for, then you simply just need to put out a statement saying we don't care about football.
Well, and look, here's what I will tell you. And some of you will say, Mike, that there's no way you feel this way. I don't know what else to tell you. If David, wanted me to go under oath, I would do it. I'd polygraph it. This is how I feel. I'm excited that MSU gets put to a life or death choice. Why? Because it lets me know if I need to care. It's life or death to their football program what this next hire is. If they do it right, we can move forward, and I can care about something that's meant a lot to me over the years. And if they do what Rico just described, I can tell you very upfront and very honestly, I can flip the bird to it and move on with my life. My favorite team will be whoever I bet on. And I get a new favorite team every 2 hours and 45 minutes. I'm not kidding. They wanted to make this NFL light. Well, that's how I treat the Giants. That's how I'll treat Michigan State. The days of me sitting there and stressing about making a bowl game or rooting on the school and all that, that's gone. As Rico has so eloquently pointed out, why would I care about these kids when these kids are already out the door? I don't even know who's going to be here next year. Frankly, I don't know who I want here.
There's a handful.
You get the point.
I do.
You turn into Alex Trebek sometimes when we talk about state. You know that?
What do you mean?
Kind of like the smarmy Canadian with all the answers on his note card, and you just want to make me feel bad.
Oh.
Minus the bad ties.
No, that's not it, Mike. I actually wanted to let you know something.
Urban's coming?
No, non-college related.
What's
but
up?
It does have something to do with the Lions.
Hit me.
I'll give it to you now.
Oh, man, hold on. You ready? My response. What a tease. Gov, what do you think? No, I'm looking. Go ahead. Thanks, Gov.
You know what? That is a tease. I taught that to my class this morning. I taught that, not that to my class, but I taught them how to do a proper. Would you stop it? David, thank you. I taught them how to do a proper radio tease. And you can learn that too at Specs at LTU. You want a career in radio, TV, graphics design, Specs at LTU can help you achieve your goals. It's very simple. What are you waiting for? Be curious. Go visit the website, ltu.edu/specs to learn more about the broadcast media arts, digital media arts, and graphics communications programs at the Specs at LTU, located in Southfield on the campus of Lawrence Tech. Once again, head to the website, ltu.edu/specs to learn more. You're going to be taught by instructors who work in the business like yours truly. That means we're not going to waste your time. You're going to be taught everything that it takes to make it in the business. Not a bunch of theory, but hands-on stuff with experience. So once again, visit the website, ltu.edu/specs to learn more. Then make magic by enrolling in Specs at LTU certificate program today.
When your furnace goes out, you need reliable service. Mastercraft Heating, Cooling, Plumbing, and Electrical. They've got you covered. Locally owned for 40 years. They back their work with a 5-year warranty. Mastercraft, your one-stop shop for heating, AC, plumbing, and electrical. Generators in stock as well. And if they don't get to you same day, they take $100 off your next day service call. Just visit mastercraftheating.com. Thanks, Gov. All right, let's get to business.
Something for you, Mike.
Yeah, buddy. Oh, the radio tease.
Yeah. NFL owners have approved a proposal to delay in-person head coach interviews involving candidates employed by NFL teams until after the divisional round of the playoffs. Big changes designed to slow down the process. The vote went over 32-0. What does that mean? It means that Ben Johnson and Aaron Glenn cannot interview for jobs until after the divisional round of the playoffs, which means they can stay focused.
No, it doesn't mean that. It says in-person interviews. They can still do Zoom. They can still do a virtual interview.
Right, like if Urban was on a Zoom with MSU right now versus flying in.
David, I stand corrected.
So by the time they do the in-person interview, they know the last 2 or 3 guys they want.
I was just trying to keep these guys around a little bit longer for you. I mean, I think both are going to end up getting poached at the end of the year.
Well, here's the thing.
Stop.
Here's the
No, Mike. You want to? That's what happens to privileged teams. That's what happens to teams that are going up to be the number 1 overall seed. You lose your coordinators. Don't cry about it. Just replace them.
The positive thing, though, is that because they have to hire them after the in-person, they have to basically hire them after they win the NFC Championship game.
Right. So there you go. They're on their way to the Super Bowl, and then they'll coach one last game and then head off to the sunset. One will be a Chicago Bear. The other will be a L.A. Charger. But you've just won the Super Bowl, so it doesn't matter.
I'll allow it. Okay. No, I'll allow that.
Thank you.
Paul, 97.1. What's up, Paulie?
Hey, Mike, Rico, David, Roberto, and Mr. Kennycott. How are we doing today,
for
fellas?
you. Here you go. Caller Ron says hi.
I'm pretty just found a box of vintage Playboys in the attic. So, yeah, there you go. Hey, Brian, enjoy.
What do you got?
Mike, I couldn't agree with any of you guys anymore. Michigan State is a Power 5 program. They've got money. They've got donors. They've hit a rough spot here. But if you don't get somebody that can take you to the 9-10 and occasionally Big Ten championship every few years, you failed. You basically failed. Now, I don't know a lot about names or guys or nothing, but I did a little research, and I want to throw a name at you, and I don't know if you're going to, cast me into the pits of hell or you're going to make me an apostle.
Go ahead.
But what about the cat at Duke? What about, what is it,
Elko? Here's what I'll say.
Yeah.
All right. I am not sure that is someone, A, I want, and B, here's your problem. I don't know that MSU has what it takes to go and get him. Because Mike Elko...
Well, you could poach him with money.
No. Here's what MSU doesn't present to people. They don't present a unified front. It's part of the reason you ended up with Mel Tucker in the first place. Because they thought they had...
Now, the Mel Tucker hire was also predicated because D'Antonio left you high and dry.
And when they had Luke Fickell in the bag, you had members of the Board of Trustees demand a minority candidate be vetted. And by that point, the Fickles got cold feet and left. So my point to you is, if you want to go and get somebody, here's what you need in today's world. Paulie, I'll spell it real clear. You need the money component up front. You need a hitter of an AD that is going to show that coach I'm going to be able to get the things you need. You need elite facilities, and you need an NIL plan. Basically, you need to show a coach we're going to spend X amount of dollars in continuum to produce a roster for you. MSU currently does not have a president. I think the AD is questionable. The NIL is in total up in the air status, and the BOT is a wild card. Now, outside of that, Mrs. Lincoln, how was the play? Tell me where I'm wrong. Tell me where I've been a mean person.
Did I stop you?
No, I was just waiting.
Well, no, hold on. Let me get my Alice Trebek cards out. Well, you're right. You nailed it. There's a lot of things going on. That's why I'm like, do you try to get the president first? Do you go and get the coach first? Like, I don't understand what the first move is because a perfect storm has happened at MSU.
First move's to hire that guy up on your TV screen right there.
You know.
No, but again.
Oh, my God.
You would need here. Caller Ron disagrees. The point is, you need to have at a place like MSU, there has to be a well-organized, legitimate NIL collective or collectives that can be a part of a search and offer, here's the money I can give you to buy players.
Right. But now the problem is, in talking to somebody that is respected up there that you and I both know, he states that a lot of the people at MSU feel, over my dead body, do you hire an Urban Meyer?
I am not going to say to you what I want to say.
Or what I told him. But you know what?
I would
put it
like
this way,
to tell those people
if you
something.
go on Indeed.com, there would be new job openings.
Over my dead body?
Yeah. Right.
Well, then.
Well,
down.
There's about 6 or 7 new job openings. But that's that mentality. You know, we're going to do it the right way. What the heck is the right way?
Well, I also love the reports I'm reading now. Oh, we have a search committee formed, and we're going to vet candidates, but we're not going to take suggestions. They're just there to vet ours. Who's this oracle up there? Am I supposed to trust that because Allen hired a hockey coach?
Back there flipping the videos for our show. That's probably the search committee.
Oh, that's Roberto?
Right. He keeps answering the phone. What about this guy? Yeah.
Every head coach in Kennett. So, you see, you like booze?
That guy's sure. We're thinking Mike Ditka. Sure. Heard he's good.
No, but the Mike Elko stuff. Look, here's the other thing. Are you ready to make Mike Elko one of the highest paid coaches in America? I don't know that I'm ready to do that. Second of all, if I'm Elko's agent, I'm waiting to see what goes on at A&M, where my client has already coached. And they already have shown mammoth NIL resources.
Yeah, but I get what you're saying. I think A&M is all about Coach Prime.
That would be amazing.
Going
Prime at A&M
going back
would be
to
incredible.
Texas because he played for the Cowboys.
In the SEC West.
Right.
Oh, that'd be theater. I'd love it.
Saying, you know what? Yeah, he's going to
I like Coach Prime. I don't like the way he's covered. See, there's a difference.
Oh, I'm with you.
I like him because he's a disruptor.
Well, to me, it was like Aaron Rodgers. I liked until Aaron Rodgers became a diva, but it was like, okay, he's a pretty good quarterback. But then it was like, oh, he's this. He's like, guys, how about you just let me like him on my own instead of telling me how great he is?
Let's go to Tom, 97.1. What's up, Tommy?
Hey, guys, what's going on, man?
How are you, buddy?
So good. So this is my gut feeling. I'm a Michigan fan. My wife's a State fan, so we're like a little bit of house divided. Don't shoot me on this, Mike. I don't know anything. My gut feeling is I think you're going to have your boy Pat Narduzzi back because I think Dan Tillman's going to be in someone's ear about having one of his boys come back. But having said that, I would love to see an Urban Meyer, a big-name coach, get the rivalry back, get everything back where it needs to be because it's fun when you're losing every other year, or you know what I mean?
It's fun, Tom, when you have a reason to want to watch the game in a party atmosphere versus you and your wife watching in separate rooms because one is emotionally disturbed and the other is bored. Like, yeah.
Can I ask you a question, Mike?
Yeah, Tommy, what's up?
What the hell's taking them so long to hire a president?
Well, all right, so two things. Rico, go if you want to go ahead.
No, go ahead.
The process of hiring a president, Tom, is really complicated. And what I mean is presidential candidates for universities have published 8 million papers. And you have to comb through everything the person's ever done. Then you have to interview them. And what is your vision for the university at large beyond things like athletics?
And then you have it's kind of like the interim coach, where sometimes people want to keep that interim coach. You have people who want to keep President Woodruff on as the president, or do you go somewhere else?
All I can tell you is MSU should follow Michigan's lead in this regard. You hired a cheerleader as a president. Santa Ono fully understands the importance of Michigan football to the brand, to the university, to the money. A great football program will fix just about anything at a school. You don't believe me? Go look at the team that wins the football national championship and then go look at the amount of applications they get. Go look at how they can raise the tuition. Go look at the free marketing dollars that are dropped on them based on the brand's success and exposure. I get it. You need to care about research. You need to care about. There are 5 to 7 silos on a president's desk. I have always argued football has to be one of them. And if it's not, you're not the right president. Or it's not on there and you're not a real school. And that's fine. As far as Pat Narduzzi, shut the program down. Just if you go that route.
But he just upset Louisville.
No, shut the program down. Just shut it down.
Yeah, but he doesn't have to come down from the press. He's already on the field, the Nard dog.
Snap into action. All right.
Oh, my God.
Here, if they hire Narduzzi and FanDuel, America's #1 sportsbook right now, new customers get $200 in bonus bets guaranteed with a $5 bet. $200 in bonus bets, win or lose. You've been thinking about joining? Football season's the primo time. You got a damn football game every night this week. Truth. More betting markets, more ways to play. You want
Elijah Metcalf.
Yeah, I was going to say, you want to bet a touchdown prop on Middle Tennessee State? FanDuel's got you covered. FanDuel.com/ticket. Kick off the NFL season with FanDuel, the official partner of the NFL. 21 and up, present Michigan. First online real money wager only. $10 first deposit required. Bonus issued. Non-withdrawable bonus bets that expire 7 days after receipt. Restrictions apply. See terms. Sportsbook.fanduel.com. Gambling problem.
Seasons are very long, and things change throughout the course of the season. If the Lions go to Baltimore and win, it's hard to envision where and if it could go south. Like you're setting yourself up.
Stop. We know there's one.
There's one thing. Yeah, there's one thing. But they are really setting themselves up to have a chance at that #1 seed that he talked about. A win over Baltimore will go a long way toward helping about that. But even if they lose to Baltimore, the Lions' schedule compared to San Francisco and Philadelphia's is on paper significantly easier. They still have the 5 division games. They still have Denver on the schedule. I mean, they still have some teams that don't look very good. That really could. Nothing's a punch button win, right? But those are 6 games that Lions have the luxury of playing that Philly and San Francisco don't have.
This is true. And the Bears, and we'll see what happens with Justin Fields if he's hurt for the long term or if he was just out for the rest of that game yesterday. But if he's out long term, that torpedoes what they're trying to build. Takes a big old detour.
Jeff Darlington, ESPN reporter, tweeted out a video last night of Lions fans just going nuts after the game. And he tweets, I've seen a lot of opposing fan bases make noise for a team after a win, but the Lions might have topped them all today. Or as Jared Goff said to me as he left the field, are you seeing this? Best fans in the effing league. Peter King estimated there were 25,000 Lions fans there.
Wow. I mean, that's wow.
Yep.
What is that, a third of the capacity there? That's amazing.
Yep.
I mean, I thought they'd travel well, and I know that you already got a bunch of transplanted.
All right, we'll get back to your calls in a second. You know, you want to talk about in life, you take a negative and make it a positive. This next segment is really embodies all of that. We took a segment I used to hate. I used to dread doing because I had to make fun of a friend in Rico Beard and talk about how ass the Big Ten is. But because Rico's a professional and a guy who got into Harvard, in case he hasn't told you, Rico said, no, sir. We are going to turn this frown upside down. And Rico even admitted the Big Ten is ass. So what we give you now is the Rico Beard Top 10 Power Rank, which is not the AP poll. It is a power rank of who Rico believes would be favored over the other if they played today. I give you the no longer hostage situation Rico Power Rank. Rico, let's do it.
Michael, we have a new team that has cracked the top 10. Ladies and gentlemen, I introduce to you the University of North Carolina. North Carolina defeated the U 41-31.
And it wasn't that close, by the way.
No.
That was all garbage time for Miami. For me, look, they got Tez Watkins back. He was one of the most impactful transfer portal guys. He comes back because the NCAA got a brain. 6 catches, 134 yards.
Don't know what happened, but we're going to let Tez play.
And again, I've been saying since the beginning of the year, I like Drake May more than Caleb Williams. I just think he's a 6'4", 225-pound, designed in a lab NFL quarterback. Can they get this done? Can they win the ACC? Can they go to the playoff? Yeah.
The road is there.
What they did to Miami was they pounded the rock. That was unexpected. Miami generally will stop you on the ground. So, look, I'm fine with it. Their tests are incoming.
Yeah, down the road. At number 9, taking a step back, is the University of Oregon, losing a close game in UW, 36-33. Mistakes were made. Dan Lanning had opportunities to maybe kick field goals, decided to go with analytics and go for it. But I got the Ducks at number 9.
I think they're underrated. But it's your power rank. You do whatever you want. I think they're clearly one of the 6 best teams in America. But it's your rank, not mine. Go ahead, number 8.
Well, there has to be a penalty for losing, Mike.
No, not when you actually play. See, this is the difference.
No.
You're doing what Costa does.
I'm not doing that, Mike, but I have other teams that did well.
My point is, they go to Washington and play an absolute classic, and you want to sit here and draw a warm bath for Kenny.
Then tell me who I need to move them up for, because that numbers. You know what? Maybe I'll move them to number 8.
Who's number 8?
Texas.
Yes.
They didn't play anybody.
Fine.
They were on a
Put
bye.
Oregon above them. F Texas. I hate that state. Horns down.
Boy, how things change.
No, I'd have Texas higher too, but I respect when you actually play someone.
Mike, I do as well, but I also sit here and reward victories. So when you go out and do what you're supposed to do and you lose, you're not out the top 10, but you do have to take a step back. Okay? You don't get to rise up because you lost a close game.
I know
That's not
my
how
truth.
life works. Okay? It's not orange slices.
I know my truth.
And juice boxes.
You can do whatever you like.
At number 7.
I'm not participating. I'm kidding. Go ahead. Who's number 7?
Penn State University. They had a laugher against UMass.
All right, right here, right now, neutral field. Oregon versus Penn State. Who are you taking?
That's a great question.
It's easy. Oregon. You should change that ranking.
No, I would probably take Penn State, Mike.
Wow, team can't put the ball 10 yards down the field. You're going to take them.
Yes, I would.
I love arguing through this. It's outstanding. All
I
right.
like Penn State. You know what? We're going to find out a lot about Penn State this weekend as they
Who do you
travel
like early look
to-
ahead in that game against OSU? Do you like Penn State getting 4.5?
I kind of do because I don't know who's all playing for Ohio State.
You know what I like in that game? The under. I think both of these offenses stink.
Yeah,
Stink.
Penn State is exactly who I think they are. Ohio State is underachieved all year.
I think Michigan has the best offense of the three.
I know, but that wasn't an option. You say between.
Oh,
Penn
I know.
State and
I'm
Ohio
just
State. Yeah.
saying. Go ahead.
At number 6 is Oklahoma. They're also on a bye, but
Also overrated.
But defeated Texas.
I'm not acknowledging that.
They did. It happened. That's facts. Like it or not. I got Oklahoma at 6 on a bye.
That's fine. I really hope Texas gets a crack at them in the Big 12 title game because they'll ace that team out.
David, any comment to this? Okay.
No, David's not participating. He's told you his energy's low. He's not excited about the rivalry game. Wah, wah, wah. He's not going to help us this week.
I'm not going to say what I was just thinking. So
Why don't you just say it?
Oh,
say it. Come on.
Mike's basically saying he won the election.
I want a recount. Cotton Bowl recount.
Texas, he's just ignoring it.
Right. If I say it enough, it's true.
They put those ballots in Indiana Carp.
Right. I'm doing the same thing the bought and paid for media does with the Heisman Trophy. If I say it enough, it has to be true.
At number 5, the Ohio State University. They handled their business. They went down to Purdue. Got it done 41-7. They're still not looking right.
They're not right. And their coach put shoe polish in his beard.
Has nothing to do with whether you win a game or not.
It has everything to do with it. Everything. If Ryan Day would age gracefully, they'd pick up more 4th and 1s. It's science. I think they're overrated, but you're right. You find out this weekend. Now, yes, they're at home and they're favored by 4.5 over Penn State. But if I had Oregon going to C-Bus this weekend, this is where I think you're disrespecting Oregon. And I think you're being a victim to one result in a vacuum.
No, I'm being the person that says every week it changes. And when you lose, yeah, you're going to fall.
Well, you know what? You read cartoon books. Next.
It makes a ton of money. And mine are worth a lot. So I don't know what to say.
Look at Kenny's disgusted. What's the problem?
Leave him in his cartoon books alone. I like the cartoon books. Come on now.
I'm sorry.
But Kenny, this is when I know he has nothing when he goes to the cartoon books. That's what I know. Mike is just sitting there floundering on the ground.
I'm so upset.
At number 4,
Washington.
Simply because, you know what? You just lost a key piece to the puzzle this week.
Georgia.
The Georgia Bulldogs. Now, they beat Vandy 37-20, but they lost Brock Bowers for at least the season. He could be back, but that, to me, was major.
Look, Bowers is the best player in America, and you take him off the offense, it's going to hurt. Now, they have Ladd McConkey. They have Ra-Ra. They got Lovett. They have weapons, but we're going to need to see Carson Beck operate and continue to grow without the cheat code. I mean, Bowers truly is a unicorn. Georgia's still really good. I'm glad you moved him down a little bit.
I got it right.
I want to see it.
Oh, okay.
I feel like North Carolina at 10 was good. I feel like this is good. The rest of these are an atrocity.
I should have, Oregon 2? Okay.
No, I would have had them 4 or 5.
At number 3, I got the University of Michigan. They dismantled Indiana. They scored 52 unanswered points and basically scored all their points in the second quarter on. They didn't score anything in the first. They did what they were supposed to do. They got it done, and they're still just kind of hovering, waiting for that Penn State game.
Yeah, they're a freight train. Now, they're doing what they should do. Who you play and how you play. They've passed the how you play the last 3 weeks. They're a machine. But when you haven't played anyone, I'm going to need you to go ahead and also turn that off. I am not going to look at that even in a passing manner. Now there's Urban talking about Michigan State football.
He's breaking down the game film.
Urban, come home.
He's breaking down the game film. Yeah.
What film?
Well, at least Rutgers.
They ought to have a side-by-side of Harlan Barnett and Ronald McDonald.
Okay. Just a slander. At number 2, UW, the University of Washington, defeating Oregon at home 36-33 in one of the games of the week.
You think Urban's excited looking at the roster he's going to inherit?
He looks intense.
He looks like, oh, he just puked on Jerry DiNardo. Oh, what a segment.
I've lost my.
Washington's really good. I still don't trust them in a big spot. I still.
What else do they need to do?
Well, it must be nice when you get your biggest game at home. My point is, all things being equal, is their front seven going to be good enough against a team like Michigan? The world may never know. And who's number one?
But I can say the same for Michigan. Can you handle, and your defense handle Washington?
Right, that's because you're a biased party.
At least Washington has played somebody. Okay? Sorry. And at number one still is Florida State.
Oh, come on.
Florida State just defeated Syracuse 41-3. Florida State still has the best victories, Mike.
I don't know, man.
You keep saying play somebody. They played people.
The problem
They've won 2 games away from Tallahassee.
Clemson and LSU actually are booty now. So I don't know if that
They're
matters.
still better than UNLV and East Carolina.
Yeah.
Noted. Rico wins.
I might have put Washington at 1 with Oregon being 5. That's probably what I would do.
That's because you're a true professional.
Yeah.
And I want to thank you for your participation.
All right, next week, David's and Mike's top 10.
Yes, we're going to do the Christian top 10. Which apostle will reign supreme?
David and Mike's top 10, and I'll get to just ridicule it all week long.
Rico's got Pontius Pilate at 6. All right, we're out of here. Great stuff by you. Turn that off up there. 97.
Michiganders down there in the state of Florida and go to Tampa to see the Lions play.
Thanks,
Gov.
Gov.
It doesn't surprise me.
Look, college football, it's going to be a hell of a good time. You're a Michigan fan, and it's going to be emotional distress if you're a Sparty. The bottom line is Old Nation Brewing can serve both of your needs at both ends of the emotional spectrum. It's a fan favorite. World-class beer right in your backyard. M43, B43, the Oktoberfest. Whatever you like, they've got you covered. Untapped just named them one of the best regional breweries in America. Well, no other Michigan brewery made that list. The bottom line, whether you got a viewing party or you're going to sit alone in a dark room and watch your team lose by 50, Old Nation has got you covered. Grab some beer, Old Nation Brewing Company, wherever you buy yours. Check them out, oldnationbrewing.com. 21 and up, please drink responsibly. All right, sorry, just spent that break getting yelled at by Rieger. Exciting. Wojo showed up 11 minutes before a broadcast, highly prepped. That'll be
It's rivalry week.
It's not.
He's fired up.
For what? To recycle the same column he wrote in 06 when John L. was on his way
He
out?
already has it written.
Let's go to David on the ticket text. David, what do you have for the parish?
MSU should be a 9 to 10 win program and have a shot to win the conference leading up to the Michigan or the Ohio State games. I think I'm excited for every game, but at halftime, it's easier to check into other games or check on other sports. This game isn't exciting.
I think a lot of people will probably do that. We'll start off in that first quarter. Michigan historically has played slow. I know. They're going to be 28 to nothing.
I didn't say
You said that earlier in the show, Odyssey Rewind. And
Here, I don't care. F you.
But yeah, I think once the game gets out of hand, then that's when people will tap out and they'll start watching other things.
45-6 final. All right, David, what do you got?
Someone is asking you guys a question,
Yeah.
okay? Talks about the BOT hiring the coach, but I thought that was Allen's
they
job.
don't hire the coach. The BOT is supposed to be a background player. They just rubber stamp hires. The problem at Michigan State is the BOT historically has gotten in the way of a lot of stuff. They play politics. They yap to the media. They generally are embarrassing. And whether it's BOT or ex-BOT members, they are not friends of MSU oftentimes. Right. They are bad actors. Hell, they just screwed up the last hire.
Yeah. Kind of like what Suge Knight said, if you want your BOT all up in your videos, dancing, doing all of this stuff, yeah, that's our BOT. They want to be actively involved in everything.
Did you just say Suge Knight's on the BOT?
No, when he was talking about Diddy. He was like,
being all up in the video.
I'm not going to be like all these producers all up in your videos. Dancing.
I would. Oh, that was a shot at Diddy. Yes, that was at like the Vibe Awards.
Yes.
Yeah.
So your BOT is
Honestly,
all up in your coaching hires.
Could we hire Suge Knight as AD? I think that's the type of move we need.
You know
and then
what?
he can dangle another AD off a balcony like he did Vanilla Ice.
I've often said it, but it is so apt for this moment.
What?
David, we have hit the bottom of the chili pot.
Oh, wow.
We are now saying we want Suge Knight.
I think you can go deeper.
Suge Knight for AD or on the BOT? AD, Suge Knight.
I want Suge Knight as the president of the university.
So basically, Suge Knight in the locker room with the gun. Harlan, you better win. That's all I have to say.
What does Gov have to say about it? Thanks,
whoa,
Gov.
Whoa. What is that?
Oh, I like that one.
Is that new?
Wait, is that a live read?
Of course it is. I'm a spicy garlic
Can you
guy.
give that to me again, please?
Caller Ron?
Sure. Yeah. Oh, my God. Well. Did you solve anything?
Yeah.
You solicited help in determining what type of coach you should get? Was that what it
we
was?
were taking your general dishonesty and we turned it into a topic.
Okay, good.
So it was, look, Bob won't say what he really feels. Why don't you tell us?
Said.
No, I
get
said.
a good, young, up-and-coming coach.
There it is.
Whose initials happen to be JC.
No.
We're hiring Jesus Christ?
No,
Well,
I'll
he'd
give you
be a
another
nice
one.
upgrade. What does
I'll
he
give
know
you
about
another
football?
one. Find this. If you're asking, because I heard your little top 10 and North Carolina's in the top, go find a Mac Brown, a guy that was good and maybe has a second
I
coming.
have. His name's Urban Meyer.
No, please.
Well, if that's the case, then you know what?
Jesus, is that you?
Get Mac Brown.
That's it. Go get Tom Herman.
Yeah, there you go.
Don't you feel Urban was telling you?
This will continue.
Oh, yeah,
no.
No. I want to hear more, though. Can we hear the entire
If you
live
don't
read?
start talking, he will just keep hitting the board.
No.
Just one more
Find
spicy
your Mac
garlic. Come on.
Brown, right? Like somebody who's successful but is, wants to have one more run.
Yeah, I already have. His name's Urban Meyer.
And I say,
This is why people should watch on YouTube, because when Wojo suggests the coach, Mike is just pissed.
Yeah.
I enjoy it. The visual's fantastic.
Because I answered his exact question with the exact answer.
Outside of Urban.
There is no one.
How many ways and times does Urban have to say he's not ready to come back to coach?
Yeah, but when
the
Urban
same amount of times he said no to Ohio State, then took the job, or no to Florida and took the job, or no to the NFL and took the job.
But they weren't dumpster fires when he took them over. He doesn't do rebuilds. He took
the
the
Buckeyes
NFL
were
job.
6-6.
Ohio State was pretty much burning.
Yeah.
No, they had 1 6-6 season.
And they were also on probation.
Well, that's because Tressel was gone and Fickle was there. They were kind of burning.
And his
They were in
first
the midst
team
of a
went
scandal.
undefeated.
Yeah.
It was no dumpster fire. They were undefeated his
I'm
first
listening.
year.
Oh, no. Oh, my.
Can
What was-
you
what
get
was
that
Wojo?
and the spiky guard?
Well, I did have a doctor's appointment today, and he asked me a question.
Yeah. What was your answer?
You know what my answer was. I am creeping myself. Why do I play your stupid games? The hell is
Rico's
wrong with
packing
me?
up his stuff. He's out of here.
I'm packing up my stuff. That sounds like he's about to do a dance. I'm a spicy garlic guy.
That could be my favorite. Is there any chance, are you taking requests? Can you give me spicy garlic guy next to Izzo Stoney not going well?
Yeah, I got you.
Oh.
Can you give me?
Oh, we're taking requests today. The all
Yeah,
request
I got
line.
you. Here
This
we
is
go.
my
Ready?
dream.
Yeah.
Good. Love it.
Guess the spicy didn't go down
What is
well. for
coming
Silly.
up next on the
We're going to
program?
talk Lions. We're going
Elephant.
to talk Michigan State. Rieger thinks Michigan State is going to pull the upset.
I did not say that.
Oh, I thought you did. Yeah.
The minute the line came out at Michigan minus 23, I bet Michigan.
I think it's up to 24.5.
I know.
Yeah. Oh.
Okay,
Oh, right.
come on.
Oh, my God.
For the love of God, Rico, leave right now. Go, run. Get out of here.
Yeah. Run
Oh,
while
by
you
the
can.
way,
Yeah.
shout out. How about the set of plums on this cat wearing a state hat this week?
Oh, I thought you were talking
What I
about
like about Rico.
We're going to need a wheelbarrow for him to tote those things
Yeah,
around.
once again, not fair weather. I went to the school.
That's what I like about Rico. He's
My
picking
life doesn't
Michigan
revolve
State
around whether the football team wins or not.
And Valenti's wearing Oregon State.
Like
I'm taking online courses at OSU.
Are
you
you
going
really?
to get Jonathan Smith?
No, I'm getting an MBA at Oregon State.
Look at this
Yeah.
guy. Why Oregon State?
Because they got the turnover chainsaw.
And they're the Beavers.
And they run the hell out
Do
of
they
the
have a good
football.
business school?
No, I made that up, you idiot. I was just
Oh,
saying.
I really wanted to believe it.
I like Trent Brather, DC. Havoc.
Yeah, I'm supposed to be crying right now because State's bad, so I'm not supposed to be
I'm
wearing
just,
that.
I'm giving you credit. Stones.
I don't need credit. It's a hat.
Try to say something nice.
You didn't. It was
Yeah.
backhanded.
You don't really. You don't try very hard sometimes.
He really doesn't.
Yeah.
All right, I'm gone here.
Let me speak.
You know what? 97 won.
Yeah. Let me speak.